Salutations and welcome back. Ooh, the audio is a bit low, I think. But welcome back, everyone. This time we'll actually finish the Battle of Okehazama scenario that we started last time. But yeah, this time without distractions, because last time I got really distracted. Oh yeah, so I added Nijisanji members into the game. Anyways, let's go back to where we were before. We were doing the Battle of Okehazama scenario. We actually did the Battle of Okehazama. Now we're gonna see the repercussions of that, what that battle would entail. But beyond that, our next goal was going to be to take over Mino, and that's what this stream is all gonna be about. We're gonna play until, well, 7 years from now. We're gonna invade and conquer Mino in its entirety. And that'll be it. Let's see. Any major events that are gonna happen in the meantime? Probably the Battle of Kawanakajima, the fourth one. The fourth Battle of Kawanakajima is gonna happen. And the Eiroko incident in the capital is also going to happen. So those are the two most major events that will happen in this scenario. So, let's get on with it. Now, let's see. When should I invade Mino? I actually would like to see, keeping in mind the events that will happen in the future. Depending on the Baldrat, Kyosu... Okay, so first the Kyosu Alliance needs to happen first. So, not yet. So in 2 years. In 2 years we can start thinking of invading Mino. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, almighty. Salutations. Yeah, in 2 years we can actually go and invade. Yeah, because that's where the Saito clan events start happening in our war with them. A lot of these events are gonna make the invasion much easier because we get free stuff from it. And I want to make sure I get the free stuff, because I might get certain officers out of it. So that's why. Because historically, Nobunaga didn't take Mino until Saito Yoshitatsu's son, Saito Tatsuoki, was actually the leader. And Saito Tatsuoki was not a very good leader. He was a terrible leader. And, I mean, his stats in this game kind of reflect that. So meanwhile... Oh, well, that sucks. Meanwhile, the Matsudaira clan is rebelling against the Imagawa. I think they still need to take over Yoshida to fully unite Mikawa, though. Let's see... Orga formation. Okay, let's see. What's going on with the Anegako... Ah, I think I know. The Anegakoji is this clan. This is the clan that whose leader wanted to have a specific position in the Imperial Court, but his son was like, yeah, Dad, we can't do it, because we're provincial samurai. The nobles will never allow us to get that rank. So then the guy decides to change his son's name. Let's see what's gonna happen. Yep, now he's gonna change his own name. Yoshiori, Mitsuki Yoshiori changes his name. Right? I'm not? During the Nambokucho period, the courtly Anegakoji clan was appointed to govern Hida, while the shogunate had concurrently appointed the Kyogoku clan as the region's governors. The two clans would divide the region between themselves to rule. Upon entering the Sengoku period, the Mitsuki clan branched off from the Kyogoku, retaining control over Hida as they plotted to usurp the Anegakoji name. And so, Mitsuki Yoritsuna, the heir of the Mitsuki clan, changed his name to Anegakoji Yoritsuna. 3 years later, Mitsuki Yoshiori, leader of the Mitsuki clan, had still not been appointed to his desired position of vice counselor. There we go, that's the position he wanted. But he wouldn't get it. But why? Why is this, Yoritsuna? Why is... what? Why have I still not become Chunagon? I thought myself one small step away. Changing nickname in Steam will change nothing for him. Yep, exactly. See, it's kind of funny because sometimes that actually worked. There were times in Japanese history where sometimes changing your name to something gives you certain legitimacy. In fact, that's exactly what Tokugawa Ieyasu did by changing his name to the Tokugawa. He had some connections to the Minamoto, and that actually is what gave him legitimacy to become shogun, because only descendants of the Minamoto clan could become shoguns. If you are not a descendant of the Minamoto, you cannot become shogun. You don't have the legitimacy for it. So, for example, the Ashikaga clan, which is currently in power, they are a descendant of the Minamoto. The Tokugawa clan, later, also is a descendant of the Minamoto. Mitsuhide, who only ruled for 2 days, he also descends from the Minamoto, right? But if you look at all the other powerful lords that ruled over Japan, they were not descendant of the Minamoto. Nobunaga never becomes shogun, even though he was the most powerful lord at the time, because he descends from the Taira, which were enemies of the Minamoto. And then later on, the one that succeeds after him, Toyotomi Hideyoshi, he was a peasant, he wasn't even a samurai, so he also couldn't become shogun. Instead, Hideyoshi became the Grand Magistrate of Japan, which is basically the highest position in court. Because his nickname was cool, kind of like XXX Pussy Sweat XXX. But yeah, that's basically what the Mitsuki clan here is trying to do. They're trying to gain legitimacy by changing their name from Mitsuki to Anegakoji to try and basically get closer to imperial positions, like imperial court positions. But it's not working out very much for them right now. The Chunagon is a lower third-class position of the High Court. There is no reason for a regional samurai to be appointed to it. And that leaves me no choice but to take the Anegakoji name. Father, are you listening to what I say? From here on, I shall be known as Anegakoji Yoshiori. Now the position of Chunagon will surely be mine. Father... Normally, if a member of the Anegakoji clan in the capital were of court nobility, they held the status of Urin. This prestigious rank would be assigned up to the position of Dainagon. As such, Yoshiori's idea of taking the Anegakoji name to obtain the lower rank of Chunagon was not without merit. Blech. Even changing my name isn't enough to get me my position. Father, are you feeling well? There's nothing wrong with me. So much time has passed since I changed my name, yet still... Chunagon. Father! Why are you shouting? Lower your voice! Father, listen to me. The turbulent times we now live in favor the exercise of power. If there is something you desire, you must claim it with your own hands. Am I mistaken? I suppose so. He is right, like... This is the Sengoku Jidai. It's a period where titles really don't mean anything anymore. They're just powerless titles, you know. This is a time of Gekkokujo, where it means the weak trample over the strong. Where the weak rise above the strong and become powers, right? A lot of the major clans in Japan were like that, right? So really, titles in comparison to actual power in these times mean nothing. Then, Father, you must claim the position for yourself. You're right. Right. From this point on, I declare myself Chunagon Anegakoji Yoshiori. Right. Wait, what? In these chaotic times, power means everything. A daimyo must simply claim a post for himself. Well, yes, I suppose. That is why I must first declare myself Chunagon. Then I simply have to become a daimyo worthy of the title. What do you think, Yoritsuna? Have I misunderstood you? No, Father. Your resolve is commendable. I misunderstood. Thus, Mitsuki Yoshiori changed his name to Anegakoji Yoshiori and strove to further expand his clan's influence. I think what his son wanted to say is that if he wants to become that position, he should just use force to claim it. But I guess he misunderstood and just said, yeah, if I just call myself that and that's enough. And there you go, he changed his name. Anyways, let us prepare for our future war. And there we go, training grounds. I forgot what he said, damn. One day I will understand what he says. One day. And I'll be able to replicate it. Anyways, now we prepare... Well, but you see, the AI of this game is really aggressive, so now the Takeda are attacking. The Anegakoji, so... Rip, they're going to die. Anyways, depending on a bald rat, Oda clan main base. Kinoshita Hideyoshi's marriage to Nene was peculiar for the times in that it was not an arranged or politically motivated. Yes, Hideyoshi's wife was called Nene. Even so, Hideyoshi had a lascivious appetite that led to many extramarital affairs. Some say his behavior could be attributed to his desperation to acquire an heir, since he and Nene remained incapable of bearing a child. So, is this true? Nene was barren, just like Kicho, Nobunaga's wife, was barren. Nene was also barren. Nene could not conceive a child. Yeah, Nene was barren. She could not conceive a child. Nene, you speak of my affairs to the clan leader. He just raked me over the coals. That's why Hideyoshi's children were had with other women, not with Nene. You, have you forgotten the words you spoke at our wedding? Something along the lines of me being the only one for you? Did I really say something like that? Yes, you did. And I told you then that if you ever betrayed our marriage, our lord would be informed. I'm not match for you. They forgot a particle A there. A letter from clan leader Oda Nobunaga regarding Nene's concerns about Hideyoshi's adultery still remains to this day. Written inside were words of encouragement for Nene, describing Hideyoshi as a bald rat, and that she was much too good for him. This is actually true. This is a real story. This is a real story. There we go. Nene and Kinoshita Hideyoshi get married. There we go. Who came of age? Oda Nagamasu. Alright. Oh, what's going on? Commerce? Sure. Let's see what's going on. Something is going on with the Takeda clan. Also, yep, Rip the Mitsuki. Let's see what's going on with the Takeda clan. Oh, wait, it's 1561. You know what that means? The fourth battle of Kawanakajima is about to happen. Oh, here we go. Okay. Kansuke scheme. But this concerns the Hojo, though. After driving Murakami Yoshikyo to Echigo and conquering North Shinano, Takeda Shingen built Kaizu Castle according to the talented Yamamoto Kansuke's designs in order to prepare for an invasion by Nagao Kagetora. Yep, it's coming. Although Kaizo was intended as a defensive measure, it would serve an altogether unanticipated role. My lord, a messenger has arrived from Sagami. Tell them that I already understand, and then send them on their way. If it wasn't for this alliance, I could entrust Kaizo to Masanobu and send my soldiers to the capital. Having been forced to his main base of Odawara Castle, after being exposed to Nagao Kagetora's onslaught, Hojo Ujiyasu, the hero of Sagami, made use of the Koso-Sun alliance to request aid from Shingen, who is helping restraining Nagao Kagetora. Hello, salutations! Kansuke, after watching Furin-Kazan, I feel very attached to him. I wanna watch that. I wanna watch that taiga drama. I really do. I've been wanting to watch more Sengoku Jidai taiga dramas. The last one that I watched was about Minamoto no Yoshitsune. I didn't finish that one, but I enjoyed it. The only taiga drama that I watched from beginning to end was King of Zipangu Nobunaga, the one that's made about Nobunaga's life. I watched that one from beginning to end. I liked it a lot. But I am definitely more invested into the Sengoku Jidai dramas, I feel. That's what I could take from my my attempt at watching the Minamoto no Yoshitsune one. As a response, Shingen entered Kaizo to make his intentions towards Kasugayama Castle clear. That is not correct, my lord. It is precisely because we can count on the Hojo's defense that we are capable of marching for the capital. That insufferable Ujiyasu should have been capable of holding back Kagetora himself, but he came crying to us instead. Be that as it may, there is word that Kagetora has Odawara surrounded. Do you believe he will bring soldiers here after returning to Echigo, even though my lord has entered Kaizo? Oh yes, he will come. This is Nagao Kagetora we are talking about. He may very well be Bishamonten incarnate. And do we have a plan to defeat this god of war? We do, in fact. Every detail has been planned to perfection. Here we go. Operation Woodpecker. It's Operation Woodpecker, everyone. We will lure the Bishamonten warrior into a trap, and you shall witness the excellence of my war tactics. Yep, Kawanakajima, the fourth battle of Kawanakajima is upon us. Yamamoto Kansuke's Operation Woodpecker is going to be unleashed. Alright. More Takeda clan events. Sanada Masayuki comes of age. This guy is one of the greatest strategists in the entirety of the Sengoku Jidai. This guy he was really smart, by the way. Really, really smart. And I really mean this guy. You'll see later on, this guy, with 2 measly castles with barely any troops, was able to hold off 2 major clans by himself. This guy was really goddamn smart. Don't worry, he's gonna have an entire cutscene around him, don't worry, you'll see. It's still far off, but we'll see it in the future. I really like Sanada Masayuki. Sanada Yukitaka's third son, Gengoro, had come of age. Having 2 brothers, Nobutsuna and Masateru, before him in line meant he stood no chance of succession. Instead, he would be adopted into the Muto clan and change his name to Kihei Masayuki. He would later restore the Sanada clan with his sharp intellect and unparalleled skill for strategizing, earning him the alias, the Trickster. But for now, Sanada Masayuki had only taken his first steps onto the stage of that warring world. Yeah, we'll see a lot about him and his sons as well, because his sons... You see, the thing about the Sanada family is that every single Sanada member seems to be, like, important in some way. It's really funny. But Masayuki is going to be very important, and his sons also will be very important as well. In fact, one of his sons is going to become one of the most famous and romanticized warriors of the period. There we go, Kiyosu Castle. We have level 9 matchlocks. Hell yeah. That makes me happy. But yeah, the Anegakoji are getting invaded. But yeah. We will only start invading Mino. Oh, there we go, he died. There we go. Ishiki Yoshitatsu, the head of the Saito clan, has passed away. Nice. Because historically, Nobunaga only starts succeeding in his invasion of Mino when he dies and his son takes over. Because his son was terrible. There we go. More stuff happening in the Takeda. Let's see. Let's see what's going on with the Takeda. Seize Nomata, my friend. So this is in Kanto. The lord of Minoa Castle, Nagano Narimasa, was feared as the Tiger of Joshu, and had stood on the very front lines opposing Takeda Shingen's invasion. But at over 70 years of age, he suffered frequent bouts of illness. At times he was too weak to even receive visitors. Anybody there? Yes, my lord, you called? It appears that I will have a visitor today. Go and make the necessary preparations. Understood, my lord. The castle has hardly received any visitors at all of late. But before long, a visitor did indeed come. An officer of Narimasa's enemy, the Takeda. My lord, Sanada Danjo no Chu has arrived to see you. He has come, has he? Let him in at once. Lord Nagano, please forgive me for neglecting to contact you more often. Bah, that's of no concern. I am pleased that we could meet before my time had run out. You have fallen ill? I am already past 70. My current weakness also weakens the efforts of the Uesugi. The Nagano clan were subordinates of the Yamanouchi Uesugi clan, led by Uesugi Norimasa. The Kanto Kanrei who, unable to withstand the Hojo clan's attack from the south, had recently fled to Echigo. Even though Sanada Yukitaka, now sided with the Takeda clan, had once been their enemy. Unable to counter their attack, he had requested that Narimasa give him refuge here in Minoa Castle. He has once even supported Uesugi Norimasa along with Narimasa. Again, don't confuse Norimasa and Narimasa, they're different people. Seems that Norimasa did not accept your proposition while we were here in Minoa. He was unable to understand the intent. So afterwards, you left for Kai and became a strategist for the Kai Takeda, abandoning both North Shinano and West Kozuke. All of Kozuke will be taken soon enough. Although I raised my son Narimori to be a stalwart warrior, his strength is in no match against Shingen. If I am to give up my land, I'd rather it be someone like you than some complete stranger. Never imagined I would hear the Tiger of Joshu sound so weak. Listen to me. North of Minoa, there is a land called Numata. It is a furrowed land surrounded by mountains. When I was in good health, I'd have taken it with ease. I can no longer move as I once could. Numata would suit you, Yukitaka. You should take it for your own. Although you might be comfortable in Shinano, this could serve as a base from which to rule Joshu. And as you'll see in the future, Numata is going to be a very important castle for the Sanada clan. Despite the rift that has grown between us, you would be so gracious. I am deeply indebted. I do this not out of graciousness, but out of expectation. This land of Joshu that I have protected should go under your command and onto your son when you've passed, and then his son. Scatter the armies of those great daimyo. No matter how big they may be, you must outwit them. Could there be anything more thrilling? Narimasa! Yukitaka, tell my children I want no memorial service. All that I want is Takeda Shingen's head at the foot of my grave. Tell them to never surrender, to fight to the death. I entrust Joshu to you. Numata is in your hands. Takeda Shingen once proclaimed that so long as Nagano Narimasa wears in Minoa, Kozuki would never fall. But at long last, that great warrior had passed. Afterwards, Sanada Yukitaka's son, Masayuki, would become lord of Numata Castle and act in accordance with Narimasa's dying wishes. And we'll see many years in the future, this castle would be very important to the Sanada. Nagano Narimori succeeds Nagano Narimasa as daimyo. Nagano Narimasa dies. There we go. Alright, let's keep building things. I want a shooting range in here. Actually, I don't need the shooting range because Nobunaga already has level 9 matchlocks. He's already maxed out. Yep, Ripley and Igakoji clan just getting destroyed. This didn't happen historically. Historically, the Igakoji were just kinda left alone all the time. Oh, let's see. Stuff is happening in the Westsugi again. Also, actually, historically, this does happen. Though not this early. Succession of the Kanto Kanrei. Here we go. Constantly suffering from the oppressive force of the Hojo clan, many warriors within Kanto expressed their support for Kagetora's invasion. Kagetora had become the savior of Kanto. Under those circumstances, Uesugi Norimasa decided that he lacked the qualifications and power to retain the position of Kanto Kanrei and transfer the title to Kagetora. Almost as if he had anticipated the offer, Kagetora readily accepted the position. The official appointment was conducted at Tsurugaoka Hachimangu in Kamakura, which also served to provoke the Hojo clan. So here's some background knowledge. Kamakura is a very important region for samurai as a whole, because back during the Genpei War between the Minamoto and the Minamoto and the Taira clan, Kamakura was the home base of the Minamoto no Yoritomo, who was to become the first shogun of Japan. Back then, when the Minamoto clan won the Genpei War at the Battle of Dannoura, and basically the Minamoto became the leaders of Japan, they transferred the leadership of Japan from Kyoto to Kamakura, and it was like that until later on the Ashikaga clan changed it back to Kyoto. So basically, this is why Kamakura is so important for like samurai as a whole. It was because of that. It was the territory that the Minamoto clan ruled from. Anyways. And it's very important because the Hojo clan were one of the main supporters of the Minamoto clan back during the Genpei War. So as you can imagine, the Nagao clan coming into Kamakura by force and just declaring themselves Kanto Kanrei in Hojo's territory. The historical, location of Kamakura, as you can understand, it was a big provocation for the Hojo. It's basically spitting on their pride and all that. Since the establishment of the Kamakura shogunate, which is the Minamoto shogunate basically, the god of war had been venerated at this place. In choosing to conduct the appointment here, Kagetora intended to elevate his power of persuasion. Congratulations on acquiring the position of Kanto Kandre, Lord Kagetora. I'm taking this opportunity to change my name, Kageye. So we'll take the Uesugi name then? Yes, but not only that. I will also inherit part of Norimasa's name. Henceforth, I will be called Uesugi Masatora. There we go. Nagao Kagetora finally changes his name to Uesugi Masatora. And he's still gonna change his name twice in the future, but for now he's called Uesugi Masatora. I see. You seem to disapprove of my taking Lord Norimasa's name. Not at all. Although my name has changed, my valor remains the same. I expect your continued obedience. Hello. Of course, this will in turn make the battle for Kanto all the more righteous. Conducting a ceremony so close to Hojo territory is certainly dealt a blow to their reputation. It is what I had anticipated. As Kanto Kandre, it is my duty to destroy the Hojo and put a stop to their selfish reign. So yeah, this is like a huge reputational blow to the Hojo. Like, this is an absolute power move that Kagetora is doing right now. So there we go. Nagao Kagetora's name changes to Uesugi Masatora. So that's what we're going to be calling him from now. And the Uesugi clan is appointed as the Kanto Kandre. But there's more. Now, the Miyoshi clan. Over here in the capital, in case you haven't forgotten, the Miyoshi clan is the clan that's basically has all the power and is influencing and puppeting the Ashikaga shogunates. So let's see what's going on with them. Ah, here we go. Now we're gonna start seeing the decline of the Miyoshi clan. Mysterious deaths are gonna start happening inside the Miyoshi clan, with many of their most important retainers. The Ogre of Sogo's final moments. The villainous Matsunaga Izahide. It's very interesting because in this game, this is the least villainous Matsunaga Izahide we've ever seen. Because like, in previous games, Matsunaga Izahide is an absolute scheming villain. In this game, he basically isn't. People think he's a villain, but he actually wasn't the one that did everything. Which is an interesting take on Matsunaga Izahide, because he's known as a villain, like in Japanese history. A big schemer. Anyways, Miyoshi Nagayoshi's younger brothers were all unique in their own right, but the one who stood out from the rest was the Ogre of Sogo, Sogo Kazumasa. He aided his brother in the capture of many territories and was instrumental in expanding the Miyoshi clan's influence. But then, at the young age of 30, he suddenly passed away. Are you telling me that Lord Kazumasa, the Ogre of Sogo himself, is dead? Again, this is very interesting because, like, there is a very popular theory that Matsunaga Izahide was actually the one behind a lot of the mysterious deaths that will happen in the Miyoshi clan. Which is very interesting that this game in particular is using the take that he actually didn't know anything that was happening. Because the previous games, they all go with the take that he was a villain. That he was the one behind everything. Yes, sir. But that isn't at all. There are rumors spreading throughout the clan that say you, my lord Matsunaga, placed a curse on Lord Sogo. Pure nonsense. What reason would I have to harm the Ogre of Sogo? This is childish prattle. Yet the rumor persists. Did Lord Sogo speak with you while at hot springs in Arima? Why, yes. I met with Lord Sogo while visiting the Arima Onsen. We only spoke of his horse at the time. Yes, as I recall, we spoke of nothing important. Doesn't help that Matsunaga Izahide looks like a villain. A few months earlier at Arima Onsen. Matsunaga. Well. Lord Kazumasa has come to bathe in the hot springs, I see. Did you suffer from some ailments? Oh, wait. I hear you're quite fond of that grey horse of yours. It's quite risky to ride it up here, you know. If you've something to say about my mount, why don't you tell it to me straight? Word has it that the deity of this place, Harima Gongen, dislikes that color horse. It's likely just superstition, but you might want to be careful all the same. All this from you? The Matsunaga I know has no regard for the gods. You simply mean to throw insults at me, but I will not have it. I bid you farewell. Goodness. I was simply relating to local legends. You didn't have to get so angry. He spoke of nothing but horses at the Arima baths. So why would people believe I cursed the man? You're saying you wished misfortune onto Lord Sogo's horse, which is what caused him to fall to his death. Right, because Sogo Kazumasa fell off his horse. That's how he died. That's how he died, right. I see, so that's what they're going with in this game. What? So the Arima Gongen legend was true? How in the world could the ogre of Sogo have fallen off his horse? And how could anyone blame me? This is too much. The members of the Miyoshi will grow to hate me if they go on believing I'm to blame for Lord Kazumasa's death. If something similar to occurs to his remaining two brothers, Lord Jikyu and Fuyuyasu, things will only get worse for me. Yes, jinx it, Izahide. Jinx it, keep jinxing it. Some say Sogo Kazumasa fell off his horse, while others claim he died of illness. Whatever the case, the rumor that Izahide was to blame continues to this day. Yep, pretty much. After all, Izahide profited greatly from Kazumasa's death, which leaves more than enough reason to suspect his involvement. With his significant contributions to the Miyoshi clan, the death of Kazumasa weighed heavily on its members and was a great loss for its military. So begins the decline of the Miyoshi clan. Sogo Kazumasa dies. Let's see, nice money. Wakarimashita zo. Alright, Kyosu Castle has more troops. We need more money. We really need to work on our commerce a bit more. Come on. We're almost there. I think it's in August. It's either June, July, or August that the 4th Battle of Kawanagajima will happen. That's gonna be big. Very big. Humongous. Huge, even. Outstanding. Truly great. Truly large. Let's focus on commerce, actually. And again, eventually we'll start invading. Oh, nice, yeah, sure, let's get the alliance. Eventually we'll start our invasion of Mino. Wait, I want to see that hearsay. Oh wow, that's a natural disaster and a half. Didn't affect us though, that's what matters. Alright, what's going on in the Takeda clan? Oh, there we go. The Anegakoji became vassals of the Takeda. That didn't happen. Oh, and there we go. The Takeda clan is attacking Minoa because Norimasa is dead. Nagano Norimasa is dead. Damn, the Hojo, the Takeda, the Uesugi are all fighting here. Alright. The Battle of Minoa Castle. Ah, there we go. That's exactly what I was talking about right now. As the Lord of Ueno Minoa Castle, Nagano Narimasa... Ah no, it is Narimasa. Nagano Narimasa once governed over all the Minoa tribes. At the time, bordering Uesugi, Takeda and Hojo territories, Ueno was a land of constant strife. The man who dared to call this place home was the celebrated warrior known as the Tiger of Josh. But even that man was no match for the ravages of the time, as he eventually succumbed to illness. Realizing how little time he had left, he called his son Narimori to hear his final words. Listen well. When I die, my gravestone shall be no bigger than a road marker. There is no need for a funeral either. Offer the heads of my enemies at my grave, and never surrender yourself to an adversary. If your fortunes should run dry, then die honorably, as a warrior. This is your duty as my son. It was an heroic final testament. Narimori responded to his father in tears. Rest easy, father. I shall hold your words ever in my heart. Having heard this, Narimasa nodded in satisfaction before looking up to the sky and breathing his last. As he considered his son and his enemies, he may have foreseen the future of the Nagano clan. News of the death of the Tiger of Joshu spread quickly through the provinces of Kanto. There was likely none more thrilled at hearing this than Takeda Shingen of Kai. Many times in the past, Shingen had attempted to invade Ueno, only to be staved off by Narimasa. I knew I would be unable to take Joshu as long as Narimasa lived. But it seems my luck has finally turned. With Narimasa dead, Ueno is as good as mine. March the soldiers immediately! With Shingen in command, the large force made for Ueno. That damned Shingen! He must have set out the moment he heard of my father's death! But we will not be defeated! Nanimori attempted a counterattack, but soon found himself being pushed back by the large Takeda army. Through various schemes, castle after castle fell before the Takeda army, until only Minoa Castle remained. Nanimori continued to fight tirelessly, but Minoa Castle was close to falling before the large enemy force. Nanimori went to the nearby temple and prayed before his father's memorial tablet, speaking with great passion. Now that it comes to this, I will hold true to your words, father! I will not fear death! Saying this, he brought his life and his clan to an end with his own blade. There we go. He committed seppuku. With the Nagano clan destroyed, the famously powerful Minoa tribe surrendered to the Takeda. There was one man, however, who refused Shingen's repeated invitations, choosing instead to wander the surrounding countries. His name was Kamizumi Nobutsuna, a talented warrior of Ueno, a Kensei, who would go on to create the Shinkage Ryu School of Swordsmanship. This is a sword saint right here. That's a sword saint. Kamizumi Nobutsuna is dismissed. Nagano clan is annihilated and affiliated officers are added to Takeda clan. Nagano Narimori dies, so Kamizumi Nobutsuna would be a big influence to the swordsmanship school of Yagyu no Tajima Munenori, who's going to become Tokugawa Ieyasu's personal sword instructor, actually, later on. Anyways. Alright. Let's see. Come on. We're almost at the 4th battle of Kawanakajima. Almost there. Deployment. No, no need. We have everything. Oh, yeah, let's start working on this, shall we? Let's get ourselves this. But. Oh, really? We lack the labor. Let's see. And there we go. We finally have the labor we needed. There we go. Narumi Castle 2. I want everyone to focus on making us big. With lots of troops. I want a large military. A military so large, it will make the ground quake when we march. We're almost there. Oh. Nice. We don't have the labor. This is good though. These are two very good things. We want those additions. Oh, there we go. Is it now? It's now. It's now. It's now. The 4th battle of Kawanakajima. One of the bloodiest battles in samurai history. It's now. Here we go. Dragon versus Tiger.
万全の布陣を整えた信玄は敵勢の到来を泰然と待ち構えていた。越後の竜と海の虎。
The dragon versus the tiger.
思えば二人はこれまで三度この川中島で対峙したものの直接関係を交えたことはなかった。よどめも睨み合いが続くかに見えたが 武田軍は別動隊を上杉勢のこもる西女山に派遣する。背後から吸収させ
Operation Peacock. Yeah, Woodpecker. Operation
本隊
Woodpecker.
とで攻撃する。名付けてキツツキの
Here we
戦
go.
法だが武田の目論見より一時以上早く朝もやを切り裂いて上杉勢が現れた。さてはキツツキが失踪したか。焦る信玄の目に北条月毛に乗りこちらを平芸
There he is, the god of war himself. Uesugi Masatora.
間違いない。あれが壇上消筆正虎その人であろう。片や正虎は夜半に敵の迂回を察知していた。敵の裏をかき未明のうちに密かに山を下り武田本体を奇襲せん。霧の中下山した正虎の目前に堂々たる陣容が広がる。中央の将棋に座る将が信玄入道その人であろう。初めて戦場で相まみえた龍子。先に動いたのは龍だった。狙うは信玄の首一つ。護衛の槍衾をかいくぐり正虎は馬上から太刀を振り下ろす。諏訪星将兜の半馬を先断しようとした刹那間一髪信玄の軍配がその刃先を弾いた。集団戦主体の戦国時代にあって本来ありえないはずの大名同士の
God, I'm so hyped.
一騎打ち。互いに侮れぬ
The greatest rivalry in samurai history ever.
龍子はこの後も戦い続けることになる。
God, okay, I need to talk about this. This is like, there we go. Yamamoto Kansuke dies. Rip. F's in the chat, man. He tried his best. He was a loyal strategist for Shingen. He came up with his, Woodpecker strategy, which honestly wasn't bad. It was actually a good strategy. But unfortunately for him, Kenshin's forces were able to intercept messengers and were able to learn of the plan beforehand. And that ruined the plan completely. And Yamamoto Kansuke felt so guilty about the failure of the plan that he committed seppuku in the battle. It's really sad, but yeah. But we're not done yet. There's still more stuff to say about this. I'll talk more about this battle after these cutscenes. There's still more stuff that I need to say. There's a lot to talk about this battle. Again, there is a reason why Kenshin, in this case Masatora and Shingen are like the two most famous rivals in the entirety of samurai history ever. It's like so romanticized. It's like when you think of samurai rivalries, you think of these two. You think of the dragon and the tiger. These two, this battle. It's great. Anyway, we're not done here though. We still have cutscenes about it. Because Yamamoto Kansuke was not the only Takeda retainer to die. There was another one. And that was Shingen's own brother, Adjutant Takeda Nobushige. As the Takeda forces were facing complete collapse after their luring tactic and been foiled by Uesugi Masatora, one solitary unit fought on. And that unit was commanded by Takeda Shingen's younger brother, Tenkyu Nobushige. Anybody there? Yes, over here. You must get word to our lord. Tell him we move to engage the Echigo forces. While we buy the other's time, determine the strategy to secure victory. Do not even consider coming to save us. Understood. Give this cloak and hair to my son Nobutoyo. The cloak bears words written in our lord's own hand. Tell him to treasure it. The hair is mine. While I may have done nothing for him as a father, I devoted my life to our lord. My lord. Now go. Communicate my message without fail. Yes, sir. You would love this battle for Kazan? I probably will. I definitely want to watch for Kazan. This battle is so cool. Everyone hear me! We now go to destroy the Uesugi forces, search for the enemy leader, and take his head. This is our priority. Do not bother felling each foot soldier we encounter. O Hachiman, great god of war, lead us to our enemy, Masatora! Grant us the strength to bring his head to our lord! Warriors of Koshu, advance! I, Takeda Shingen's brother, Takeda Nobushige-sama no, shall accompany you to the great era hereafter. Takeda Nobushige met his end at Kawanakajima. He was 37 years old. He was wise and reserved, with a temperament both modest and considerate. No true warrior could not admire his military prowess and courage. Kawanakajima, Takeda Army Camp. I come bearing a message. Lord Tenkyu has died in battle. What? This can't be. Nobushige, I'm so sorry. You had to sacrifice yourself because of my stupidity. Forgive me. My lord, you must control yourself. I am in control. I will not allow Nobushige's death to be in vain. We must turn this fight around. Even so, I somehow lack the control to stop these tears. Nobushige, once again, I've lost someone so dear to me. The road to unification is steep, paved in sorrow. There exists a volume which describes Nobushige as intelligent, strong, proper, and just. Fashionably bald. It was very common, actually, especially among the capital. The loss of an adjutant so virtuous dealt a heavy blow to Shingen and the rest of the Takeda clan. We're not done yet. Takeda Nobushige dies. Okay. The retreat from Kawanakajima begins. Let's see what's going on still in Kawanakajima. As the Uesugi retreated from Kawanakajima, the officer commanding the rear guard was Amakasu Kagemochi. Kagemochi remained on the shore of the Saigawa River, protecting the Uesugi army as they crossed. The enemy attacks! They've come! Stand your ground, everyone! We must protect our allies as they return to Echigo! So, we've happened upon Amakasu Kamiyominu. What a prize it will be to receive his head! Baba Mino. Baba Mino, yeah. Is it? Quite a formidable foe we have here. Also known as the Mino Ogre, Baba Nobuharu and his soldiers fought fiercely against Kagemochi, but were forced to retreat in the end. They fight well. We're pulling back. Has the Art of War been written yet? Oh yeah, centuries before this. Many of these samurai were avid readers of the Art of War. Shingen and Masatora were both readers of the Art of War, in fact. And so were the Sanada as well. And many others. They fight well. We're pulling back. The Art of War was very popular among samurai. Sometime later. The enemy attacks! Everyone, hold strong! Only a few of our allies have yet to cross the river. So he stayed behind, has he? I'll gladly accept this second chance to take his head. Shingen had even abandoned it with the words from the Art of War in it. Yeah, that's what Furin Kazan is. Exactly. It's words from the Art of War. Again, this one apparently doesn't give up easily. Once again, Kagemochi held strong and successfully forced Nobuharu to retreat. Baba is retreating! Everyone, regroup! As they say, third time's the charm. Sometime later, just as Kagemochi anticipated, Baba Nobuharu came back for a third attempt. Their outpost looks well prepared. I suppose you anticipated our return, hey? Or you could say I simply trust in proverbs. Even so, Kagemochi magnificently repelled Baba's assault a third time. Sometime later. There's still no enemy in sight. Maybe they finally gave up. Our allies should have all returned by now. We should prepare to depart as well. Believing his duty complete, Kagemochi lowered his guard and proceeded to cross the river. Halfway across, the sound of an arrow passed his ear. Can't be! How's this for a proverb? What happens twice will surely happen thrice. And 3 times brings a 4th. Wouldn't you agree, Amakasu? If I did, you would not have caught me so defenseless. True enough. I'll be taking that head now. Although Kagemochi managed to escape by a hair's breadth, most of his soldiers were slain by Baba. Baba Nobuharu displayed unrelenting persistence and took advantage of his enemy's way of thinking to seize victory. There we go. And that's the Battle of Kawanakajima, everyone. Alright, let's talk about this battle for a bit. So the Battle of Kawanakajima was one of the bloodiest battles in samurai history ever. It was a classic example of like samurai warfare ever. And it's super exciting because you see two master tacticians going against each other. You know, Uesugi Masatora, also popularly known as Uesugi Kenshin, versus his equal Takeda Shingen. Right? They were equals in many ways. And it was from this battle that the two of them started respecting each other very much. Like, they were bitter enemies, like fierce, bitter enemies. But man, they started respecting each other so much after this. Like, they really did. And you'll see later on that, when eventually Kenshin, Masatora, learns of Shingen's death, even though they are enemies, Kenshin, aka Masatora, he sheds tears for his enemy. And it was apparently the only time he cried for someone, was when his enemy died. It's like a very romanticized rivalry, but for good reason. Like earlier you saw in the cutscene that apparently the two of them even fought each other one to one. That is an actual popular story that is told. We don't know if it's really true, but it is a popular story. What's the bloodiest battle in samurai history? Probably the Battle of Sekigahara, which is the greatest battle in samurai history ever. Which is the battle that really ends the period, the Sengoku Jidai period, which is what this game is all about. We're gonna see it in the future. But this one is right there. Let me talk about this. So basically, this battle starts with an invasion by the Uesugi. So Uesugi Masatora invades North Shinano through here, through this path. He actually goes past Kaizu Castle. He completely ignores Kaizu Castle and just goes past it. And like, let's see, yeah, the river is actually, yeah, it happens here. He goes past Kaizu Castle, and yeah, it's right here, I think. And he takes camp on top of a mountain right here, on this side of the river. Right on this side of the river, in this mountain here. Meanwhile, Kaizu Castle is just still here, awaiting reinforcements, while Kenshin's Masatora's troops are here on top of the mountain, you know? Shingen learns of this, and he sets out from his castle all the way into Kaizu Castle. He goes past the mountain and goes into Kaizu Castle right here, right? And then that's where Yamamoto Kansuke comes from his plan, the Woodpecker strategy, Operation Woodpecker, where the plan entails that he's gonna split the troops, right? Some of the troops will come from behind the mountain, right? They will go up the mountain and they will try to basically attack from all sides to force Masatora's troops from going down the mountain through the river, right? But that is part of the plan, because Shingen's other troops will cross the river and will wait for Masatora's troops right here in the river, on the other side of the river. So by the time Kenshin is crossing the river, the plan is that Shingen is going to already be ready for him and he's going to attack him when he's not prepared. And basically, all troops of the Takeda will basically enclose and surround the Kenshin from all sides when he's not prepared. That is what the Woodpecker strategy is. It's called Woodpecker because the troops that are going to go up the mountain are going to attack from all sides to kind of lure Kenshin out of the mountain and down into the river, right? Like a woodpecker, basically pounding like a tree, right? A woodpecker pounding like a tree, so that the insects inside the tree will come out, so that they are ripe for the taking. That's why it's called Operation Woodpecker, and that's the strategy. However, things did not go to plan, because during the night, Kenshin's troops, Masatora's, I'm always calling him Kenshin because that's like his most popular name. Masatora's troops were able to intercept the messengers of the Takeda clan, right? And through those messengers that they intercepted, they were able to learn of the plan, of the entire plan. As a result, in the morning, when the Takeda troops went up the mountain, they saw nothing. There was no one there. And they thought there was someone there because Masatora, he had the plan of leaving his banners behind. He left his banners behind in the mountain to make the Takeda trick them into thinking that he was still up the mountain, but he was not. He had already crossed the river in the night. And so basically, the Takeda troops went up this mountain and just saw nowhere. Meanwhile, the other side of the Takeda troops were here, on this side of the river, forming up. It was a foggy day, by the way. They were just still forming up, right? Preparing themselves. And they couldn't see anything because there was too much fog, right? But when the fog cleared up, what they saw is that the entire force of the Uesugi was already ready to fight and were already charging them. So basically, Shingen tried to catch the Uesugi unprepared, but instead, he was the one that was caught unprepared, right? Because in the night, Masatora's troops crossed the river, left their banners behind, formed up in the fog, under the cover of the fog. And when the fog cleared and the Takeda troops were still forming up, the Uesugi troops were already ready to attack and immediately started attacking. Meanwhile, the other force of the Takeda that went up the mountain, when they realized what was going on, they desperately went down the mountain to try and catch up, because the Takeda army was attacked quite fiercely, and they were not prepared. Basically, they were caught off guard. They were not expecting the Uesugi army to already be prepared, right? And the Uesugi also kept some troops behind in the river to kind of slow down the Takeda troops. Now the Takeda troops actually did a very good job at hurrying up. They actually crushed the Uesugi troops that were left behind in the river and were able to actually make haste to help. But before that, the melee was already underway. There was a huge melee going on between the Uesugi troops and the Takeda troops right here, in between these two rivers, right here. And this was actually the first time that the Uesugi and the Takeda actually go all out, commit all their troops into an actual all-out melee. Because before this battle, all their confrontations were basically maneuverings. Just maneuvering troops, some light skirmishes in and there. This was the first time they actually commit their entire forces into a complete melee. And it was such a desperate melee that supposedly there is a story that Uesugi Masatora himself is able to cut through the Takeda defenses and is able to go deep into where Takeda Shingen was, his camp, right? And he's able to catch Shingen so off guard that Shingen wasn't able to pull out his weapon and had to basically parry Masatora's attack with his war fan, which is what we saw earlier in that cutscene. It's like such a famous tale of this battle that it's completely immortalized. It's why in a lot of games you see Shingen depicted with his war fan, sometimes as a weapon. It was because of this. Because Uesugi Masatora rides directly into Shingen himself, and Shingen gets caught off guard and is forced to pull out his war fan to parry his attack. It was pretty desperate. Fortunately, one of Shingen's soldiers was there, and they saw what was happening, and they basically were able to scare away Masatora's horse with a spear. So Masatora ended up basically running away. But this was actually the one and only time that Shingen and Masatora actually saw each other person to person, face to face. The only time. Other than this time, they would never ever see each other. But they gained a giant respect for each other. So yeah, the melee was underway, things were desperate. Takeda Nobushige, Shingen's brother, died in the melee. Yamamoto Kansuke felt super guilty about his plan failing and committed seppuku in the middle of the battle to try and atone. But eventually, Shingen's troops that were up the mountain and were trying to desperately hurry across the river, they were finally able to arrive in the battle. So when Masatora saw that the Takeda release force was finally here, he saw that there's no point in continuing the battle, and he decided to order the retreat through the river over here in the north. And that's what we saw, the retreat, where Amakasu Kagemochi leads basically stays behind as a rear guard, so that all the Uesugi troops are able to make their way through the river and back to Echigo right here. It was a super bloody battle. Both sides took heavy losses. Although, you could say that, in a way, the Takeda took bigger losses. It's difficult. It's very much up for debate who actually won this battle. Because, technically, the invading force was the Uesugi. Technically, the Takeda were able to actually repel the Uesugi from their lands. So, in a way, they succeeded in their objective. They were able to repel away the Uesugi troops from their territory. However, they took insane losses. Arguably, the Takeda took the most losses from his battle. And they lost, like, valuable retainers. They lost Yamamoto Kanseke, who was one of the most brilliant Takeda strategists. They lost Takeda Nobushige, who was another, like, big retainer. They took the most, like, losses in the battle overall. It was a heavy blow for the Takeda. So it's very much up for debate who actually won the 4th battle of Kawanakajima. But yeah, that is the battle, and they would meet here in the future for a 5th battle, but that one wasn't as big as this one. The 4th battle is the big one. But yeah, there was a 5th battle, and there's actually maybe some accounts that there might have been a 6th battle of Kawanakajima. But yeah, we're not gonna see that. Again, the 4th battle is the biggest one. So yeah, that's the 4th battle of Kawanakajima. This is the battle that would end up with Kenshin, Masatora and Shingen to respect each other. The rivalry between the dragon and the tiger, because culturally in Asia, the dragon and the tiger are enemies, are rivals too. So yeah, that's why you see in so much popular media, the rivalry between the two of them being so romanticized, because this battle is like the culmination of the rivalry. It's great. It's such a fascinating battle. Like one of the most famous episodes in samurai history of this period, where you get to see two geniuses going at each other. Two geniuses that were already fighting each other for years, like 10 years before this. Always never budging to each other, always maneuvering, trying to outsmart each other. Finally they commit to one massive battle. And the result would be inconclusive, and they would still keep fighting from years on end. But they would end up kinda respecting each other and kinda helping each other in the future as well, at times. It is fascinating. It's stories like this that, make me so, like, in love with this period of history, It's so fascinating, and you have so many names, so many other names that from the period that all play their part, and it's so many cool things. It's so badass. It's so cool. Like, this was an absolutely brutal period in history. Absolutely brutal. And we see so much backstabbing, betrayal, strategizing, loyalty, like major big battles and things like that. It's just so fascinating. It's insane. I love it. It's so fascinating. Do you see why I tend to speak that a lot of the Western views of, like, samurai and honor this, honor that is, like, very shallow? Because it's like, compared to what samurai actually are, it's so shallow because samurai are so much more. They're so much more fascinating. There's so much more depth to them, This is why I fucking love it. Anyways, Uesugi, there we go. So, remember Uesugi Masatora, changing his name like 2 months ago? Yeah, he's changing his name again. There we go. Dude, Masatora changed his name like literally 2 months ago. He's changing his name again. There we go. Uesugi Masatora is gonna change his name to Uesugi Terutora. In this year, Uesugi Masatora was allowed to add a part of Shogun Ashikaga Yoshiteru's name to his own, becoming Terutora. He had received a name suggestion from Yoshiteru when he visited Kyoto before, but because of his low station as a retainer of the senior Kanrei, he had refused. But now that he was the Uesugi clan leader and appointed as Kanto Kanrei, making him a direct retainer of the Shogun, he had reason to accept Yoshiteru's goodwill. And he's gonna change his name again in the future when he becomes a Buddhist. It was not so long. Steam admins need to disable the ability of changing name for this guy. Goddamn. It was not so long ago that I received the name Masatora. Although it is not at the Shogun's urging, it pains me to change it so suddenly. There is no need for any misgivings. The suggestion comes directly from the Shogunate after all, and the name is far more noble than mine. Accept it without reservation. And so he became Uesugi Terutora, making him the first Kanto Kanrei in his 29 years of history to receive the Shogun's name. Goddamn. Yep. Uesugi Terutora, there we go. Now wait for a few years when he change it to Uesugi Kenshin. For good. Goddamn. This habit of some samurai just really love changing their name. It's really funny. Oh, there's more stuff happening. Stuff is happening in the west. The Mori clan. What's going on in the Mori clan? Oh, the Mori are taking over the entirety of Chugoku region. Let's see. The death of Taka... We saw this cutscene, but we'll see it again. It's an Motonari's son died. Mysteriously. Mori Takamoto, his preparations to attack Yamago complete, found himself being entertained one night by the local tribes. After returning to Aki, Takamoto took to his bed, complaining of ill health. Yeah, you're gonna see this is familiar because we did see this cutscene technically in one of the I think 2 streams ago. Because I guess things happened faster back then. But anyways, we're gonna see it again. I knew myself a fool, but to think I would fall for a trap so blatant as this. Victory goes to he who schemes most, eh? Father, please forgive your careless son. I leave the future of the Mori in your hands, everyone. Kotsurumaru. I'm sorry for being so worthless a father. So ended Takamoto's short life. He may have spent it in the shadow of his great father and the brilliant brother, but he had been a steadfast supporter of the Mori clan. Although his death was attributed to poison, the truth remains unclear to this day. News of Takamoto's death soon reached Motonari, who had recently began attacking the Yamago. What? Takamoto is... It can't be. Has there been a misunderstanding? Could you have misheard? These are truly unfortunate tidings. Ridiculous. How could Takamoto? A matter of son dies before his father. My lords. How ought we proceed? Very well. Give this message to all the clan's members. We shall avenge Takamoto by wiping out the Yamago. Tell them that this shall be a battle unlike any other. Kotsurumaru, no, Terumoto, the son that Takamoto has left behind, he will have his vengeance against the Yamago. His entire Mori clan shall take the revenge. Sir! This is my retribution for taking the lives of my enemies in battle, for plotting to end their bloodlines. For this retribution shall play a role in my strategy. But this retribution shall play a role in my strategy too. In the name of vengeance, the Yamago will be annihilated. I'm sorry, Takamoto. I'm so sorry. Forgive your father his black heart. From all the extant letters that Motonari had written to his sons, his love for his family is readily apparent. Though he admonished Takamoto at every opportunity, this also proved how much he loved and expected great things of him. While distraught at having lost Takamoto under such unfortunate circumstances, his readiness to use his son's death to motivate his troops showed just how mighty a daimyo he was. There we go. Mori Takamoto dies. Oh, something I forgot about Kawana Kajima. Another detail about the Battle of Kawanakajima. So when the melee began between the Uesugi and the Takeda, something that I forgot to say is that Masatora, Uesugi Masatora, now known as Uesugi Terutora, he employed this what is called the wheel formation, where he basically put his troops in a formation where he would rotate the troops, basically, right? So he had a first wave attack, then he would swap out that first wave with another wave that would fight, and then that wave would then retreat, and then another wave would be employed, and that way Terutora was able to keep his army always fresh. He always had his army always completely fresh, always ready to fight. Meanwhile, the Takeda army was super exhausted. They were trying their best, because again, they were split, if you remember. They were not fighting with their entire force here. So they had to all fight. But the Takeda army was basically super exhausted in this battle. That's also another reason why, but beyond them being unprepared, why they took so many casualties. Because they were completely exhausted, while the Uesugi troops were completely fresh because they were always rotating between waves. That's why. So yeah, that's another detail I forgot about the battle. I don't know if I forgot, maybe I forgot other details. But yeah, there's a lot of like cool things about this. Again, there's a lot of like tactics and strategies employed by a lot of these daimyo, which is super, super exciting. I'll talk more about strategies when we talk about the Battle of Nagashino later on, and others as well. Oh, there we go. This involves us as well. The Kyosu Alliance. This is going to be very important, by the way. The death of Imagawa Yoshimoto in the Battle of Okehazama represented a golden opportunity for the Matsudare clan, who had long been forced into submission. Matsudare Motoyasu, who had recently claimed independence for his hereditary property of Okazaki Castle in Mikawa, was not about to let this chance slip by. Gotta go for now. Thanks for the stream. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Imagawa clan still had sway over Totomi and Suruga, so despite the momentum gained by killing Yoshimoto, the Oda clan of Owari were incapable of facing both territories simultaneously. Owari, Kiyosu Castle.
I've been waiting for you, Takechiyo. Or should I call you Motoyasu?
Lord Nobunaga, it has been too long. I apologize for not coming to see you sooner.
As you should. Cutting ties with Imagawa is all well and good. But why didn't come to me sooner? I heard that when the news of Yoshimoto's death reached you, you thought to open your own belly. Forget it. The fact that you're here means your ties to the Imagawa are severed for good, yes? Nothing escapes you, Nobunaga. From this point onward, the Matsudare will cooperate with none but the Oda. You do realize that by joining me, Imagawa Ujizane will likely attack straight away to avenge his father? And you might still have retainers who are indebted to Imagawa. Have you discussed this planned alliance with your clan? There is no need for concern. Every member of my clan is prepared to fight the Imagawa. All we require is your support. You make good decisions at the right times. I like that about you, Takechiyo. I will unite these lands.
There you go, the famous quote.
Tenka Fubu. I will unite these lands. But the one who takes control after me might just be you. Unite the lands? You heard me. War spreads across this country like a choking vine. The only man who can bring order to this madness is me.
Such a grand design. However, I'm afraid you overestimate me. I'm surely not capable of ruling the entire land myself.
You underestimate yourself. I know exactly what you're capable of. You will defend me until I have become ruler of these lands.
You may place your confidence in me. I promise to meet your every expectation.
Such a forthright man. But that integrity is exactly what makes you so fearsome.
This partnership between Oda Nobunaga and Matsudare Motoyasu would later give rise to the union by marriage, known as the Kyosu Alliance. At the same time, Motoyasu would change his name to Ieyasu. There we go, he changed his name too! He changed his name to Ieyasu, ridding himself of the one he inherited from Imagawa Yoshimoto, and further proving his alliance to Oda Nobunaga. Motoyasu continued to cooperate with Nobunaga with unfailing loyalty, and Nobunaga returned to that faithfulness in kind. There we go! Matsudare clan's Nobuyasu and Oda clan's Tokuhime get married, forming a marriage alliance. By the way, this was a bit controversial, by the way, this marriage. Because, you see, Nobuyasu was 8 years old, and Tokuhime was 6 years old. Tokuhime was Nobunaga's daughter, and Nobuyasu was Motoyasu's son. And they were very, very young, and it was a bit controversial. I think if I remember, Nobunaga's wife and Nobunaga's wife and Nobunaga's mother were not very, I think, in favor of this. I think, especially his wife, even though his wife is not the actually blood wife of his daughter. Because if you remember, I said Nobunaga's first wife, Kicho, she was barren, she could not conceive. Instead, Nobunaga had children with his second wife, Lady Kitsuno, who was not barren and was able to conceive. So all children of Nobunaga will come from Kitsuno, not Kicho. I think Kitsuno didn't mind it, but I think Kicho took issue with this marriage a bit, because they were a bit too young, and you know, she felt bad about Tokuhime, you know, being just a 6-year-old girl, being sent to a faraway, strange place, right? Because Tokuhime would from now on live in Mikawa with the Matsudaira clan, right? That is why. So it was a bit controversial, but ended up kind of being past water in the future. So yeah, Matsudaira Motoyasu's name changes to Matsudaira Ieyasu. There we go. Ieyasu is the name he's mostly known for. But yeah, and by the way, starting from now on, I'm probably gonna stop the gameplay a lot to talk about small tidbits like this, because this is getting into the period of life that is gonna focus a lot on Nobunaga's life, and that's where my area of expertise comes in, because I know more about Nobunaga than any other samurai in history. And anyone related to Nobunaga in some way, I'll probably also know something about them in some way or another. That's why I'm gonna start talking a lot more from now on. we won't even need the cutscenes of the game to tell the story, because the cutscenes don't tell the full story. So I'll try and basically add up to what the game says with some extra context, right? Call it the beginner's guide to the Sengoku Jidai. But yeah. Where was the consent law this period? There was no consent law. This is Sengoku Jidai, this feudal Japan. Those laws only started existing later on. You know, this is the medieval ages. There's no such thing as a law of consent. There were arranged marriages, that's what it was. People married for political reasons, and this was very much a political marriage. And it was controversial at the time too, actually. Because again, Nobunaga's wife, even though she wasn't the one who gave birth to her, she didn't like that very much, because, you know, she didn't like the idea of, you know, the poor girl, you know, being sent to a faraway place, you know, away from her family. But it had to be done to basically make this marriage alliance between the Matsudaira and the Oda clan. And this alliance were very important, because this period is a period of giant backstabbing, right? A lot of the clans struggled to invade other clans because they were always like scared of being attacked from behind. And we see that a lot with both the Uesugi and the Takeda. Both of them will be attacked multiple times from behind, and those invasions from behind are often what causes them to have to stop their ongoing invasions, right? For example, you know, the Takeda will fight a lot with the Hojo and the Imagawa, and they will have to stop those invasions because of the Uesugi invading them from behind. Or sometimes the Hojo is fighting someone, but then they have to stop fighting because someone from another direction decided to invade them, right? And this happens all the time in the Sengoku Jidai. Everyone is like super, like, distrustful of each other. So like having an ally that you can kind of count on was super important, and that alliance is actually going to be very important for the Oda clan. Like, you're going to see a lot of enemies from the Oda clan will be stopped by the Matsudaira clan, right? The Matsudaira clan will provide a choke point that will defend the Oda clan from behind. We will see later on, eventually, when the Takeda clan gets pissed off at the Oda clan, the Takeda clan will declare war on the Oda clan, and they will go through Matsudaira territory, and the Matsudaira will protect them from behind, which gives the Oda precious time to prepare and deal with their enemies over here, right? It was very crucial. This alliance ends up being one of the major factors as to why the Oda clan was so successful at, like, unifying Japan. It was super crucial. Very, very important. Is it the most humanitarian way? No. But this is an age of turbulent chaos. There's no humanity anywhere, really. Everyone's out there killing each other, right? It's hard to say, you know, it's hard to look at it with, like, modern standards, you know? Japan back then was a land ruled by strength, and only by strength could this chaos be quelled. Today it's different, obviously. Japan is no longer that type of land. It's no longer that type of territory. Japan changed ever since the World War II ended, right? But, like, Japan was a brutal country before that. Very brutal. They were a military society at the end of the day. Let's not forget about that. It was the World War II that changed that. There we go. Suwa Shiro Katsuyori. More stuff with the Takeda clan. Takeda clan palace. It was the day that Takeda Shingen's fourth son, Shiro, whose mother, the concubine Suwahime, had died during his birth, came of age. The members of the Takeda clan were all keen to learn the name Shiro would be given. And for work, bye bye, see ya, thank you for coming. The members of the Takeda clan were all keen to learn what name Shiro would be given. Shiro's name? Okay, let me actually decrease the volume a bit, this is a bit too loud. The major events are done for now, so... There we go. There we go, because I can't hear myself speak. Shiro's future position within the Takeda clan would be determined by the kanji characters that made up his name. So you've grown so quick. Ah, there we go, the casual Shingen appearance. So you've grown so quickly, Shiro, and now your naming day is already upon us. Yes, father. Takeda Yoshinobu is the eldest son, by the way. From this day forward, you will carry the name Katsuyori. You shall be known as Suwa Katsuyori Shiro. No, I mean Suwa Shiro Katsuyori. Some of these names are difficult if you add more than two. Because this game does not use the proper order, so sometimes I'm confused. That name doesn't contain the Nobu that has been passed down through generations of the Takeda clan. Because again, Shingen, before being called Shingen, he was called Harunobu, and Shingen's father was called Nobutora. So that Nobu was a big deal. And as you can see, Shingen's son is Yoshinobu. That Nobu is present in all their names. Well, Shingen no longer has it, but he used to have it. Ah, so he gives the Yori of the Suwa clan. Our lord has made his position clear. Thank you, my lord. I will give my all for the sake of the clan. There is strength in your eyes. Your mother had those same eyes. I only hope not to send you down the same path. You may be bound to the Takeda clan, but you will not be subject to the scorn of its members. Walk your own path, Katsuyori. Katsuyori, you will lead the Suwa and govern Shinano. Torashige, Nobuharu, you will assist Katsuyori in preserving the peace. Yes, my lord, it will be done. You can count on us. Chat should conclude today's council. That was quite a day, everyone. It seems that father held a special affection towards Katsuyori's mother. I admit to having some concern over today's proceedings. But a figure so foresighted as my father would not err in these types of circumstances. But now my future inheritance of the Takeda clan is secured. By not giving him the traditional name, Takeda Shingen had excluded Shiro from becoming a potential heir to the clan's leadership. This effectively confirmed Yoshinobu as the next leader of the Takeda. Suwa Shiro Katsuyori would inherit the prestigious Suwa clan and take on the responsibility of governing the lands of the Suwa and Shinano for the Takeda clan. Oh yeah, something I haven't explained about the Suwa. So here's a fun fact. You see the Suwa Taisha right here, the Suwa Grand Shrine? This is the same shrine that Toho's Moria Shrine is based off. If you know about Toho lore, you might know that there is a character called Moria Suwako, right? Moria Suwako and the Moria Shrine is very much related to this Suwa Grand Shrine right here. It is actually part of canonical lore of Toho. Those two shrines are connected. And supposedly Suwako, part of her is enshrined in Suwa Taisha, in the Suwa Grand Shrine. So that's a fun fact. Which is funny, because if you look in Toho, in Toho lore, if you look at the Moria Shrine is next to a lake. Just like the Suwa Grand Shrine is next to a lake. So yeah, that's a fun fact for any Toho fans out there. Let me see. This would mean that every single person related to the Suwa is technically related to Suwako. Let me see, what should I improve actually? We'll go over here. We're gonna start our invasion very shortly. Yeah, Kiyosu is big. I think we're gonna conquer Kanayama and Hiwamura, but Ogaki we get for free, I think. Yoshihime's feeling. Oh, okay, stuff is happening in the north. So this is right here, in the Date clan. Right here, the Date. Led by Date Harumune right now. Yoshihime's feelings. The demon princess herself. The Tenmon Revolt. A rebellion that embroiled all of Oshu. It started as an internal conflict between Tanemune, leader of the Date clan, the largest clan in O, and his heir Harumune. But the many daimyo of O were the retainers of the Date clan, seized this opportunity to become independent and expand their own domains. The Mogami clan was led by one such daimyo. They were allied with Harumune, who had emerged victorious from the Tenmon Revolt, but their relationship with the Date clan was strained. In O, where the civil strife continued, the two clans decided to strengthen their ties through marriage in an effort to reduce outside threats. And so, Mogami Yoshimori's daughter, Yoshihime, was married to Date Harumune's heir, Terumune. Little sister, so the day has finally arrived. Yes, this too is another sign of our turbulent times. I soon depart to join the Date. By the way, Yoshihime right here, she was a very fierce lady. Very temperamental. There's a reason people call her the demon princess, right? Of the Mogami. Like, she's very, very fierce. I see. But my face will not show the sadness of it, nor will I forget that I am a lady of the Mogami. I shan't let them raise a hand against the Mogami, so do not fret, dear brother. Instead, please restore the glory of our clan. Ah, right. Come now, brother. You are heir to the Mogami clan. Please do not concern yourself with these strifes. Trifles, you say? We'll hardly see each other anymore. But then, I suppose worrying won't change that. Worrying won't help. Worrying helps nothing. Alright. I'll be counting on you, sister. Keep the peace between the Mogami and the Date. Please leave it to me. I'll write you. Take care of yourself, and come straight back if anything happens. Alright. To look at my brother, few would guess he had such a soft heart. Yoshiaki doted on his sister, Yoshihime, and sent to her a volume of letters befitting a natural-born author. And so the Date clan and Mogami clan were bound by family ties and went on to greatly affect the fate of Oshu. She looks cute. I really like a lot of the ladies in this game. They're very, very cute. I mean, in this game, most people look handsome. So there you go. Date Masamune, the one-eyed dragon, who was the hero born of Terumune and Yoshihime, and he would one day rattle the very foundations of Oshu. But that is a story for another day. He's still not born yet. But he's gonna be the son of Yoshihime. And let's just say that Yoshihime is gonna be a very strict mother to him. Very strict. To the point where she kinda doesn't like him. But yeah. She thought he was too soft, basically. But he's not gonna be that soft anymore once he takes away his own eye. Well, it wasn't Masamune who took his own eye, it was Kojiro, his vassal. You see, Masamune was born with an infection in his eye. And that infection was a part of why he was so meek and insecure of himself in his childhood. And it was part of that why Yoshihime was so strict and kind of hated him. Right? Eventually, Masamune would be so pissed off at his own eye that he just told his own vassal, Kojiro, to just take a knife and take his own eye. And after that, he would no longer be the meek person that he was. It actually helped him to become more confident and less, less soft. And that's how the one-eyed dragon came to be. I saw him riding the horse with handholders and 6 katanas. Sengoku Basara. There you go. Date, Terumune, and Mogami clan's Yoshihime get married, forming a marriage alliance. There we go. Back to Owari. Alright, let's see. What shall be done here? Let's keep improving. So when's the next thing is gonna happen? The Hanbei Castle theft happens in 64. Oh, never mind. I just need a castle. Alright then. Isn't happened in 66. Alright. Oh, there we go. Heiroku incident. Oishi's wedding. Yeah. Saito clan annihilated. Yeah, this is going to be the last one. So we need to take a castle. Okay, it's time to begin our invasion. Let me just see something. I don't want to take any castles that will be taken. Never mind. Alright. Let's begin by taking Kanayama and Iwamura. Those will be the first ones we take. Oh, but stuff is happening in the Mori clan. Let's see what's happening in the Mori clan. Over here, they're fighting the Yamago. Ah, another fierce warrior appears. Yamanaka Shikanosuke. We're gonna see this guy a lot. Look there, Takakage. Look? What am I looking at? The man with the antlers. Just look at that overwrought helmet. Splendid, isn't it? But what of his skill? Oh, he's strong. He once cut through 16 men. Or was it 30 men? That's quite a gap between 16 and 30. So is he stronger than you, brother? Don't be absurd. Well, physically he might be, but battle calls for more than brawn alone. Something happens in the Mori clan, maybe Kali released another music album and stuff. Nah, it's just Kali fighting V-tweeters. She's being invaded by the V-tweeter clan and she's crushing them because, you know, it's Kali. Of course, you know, the Mori clan never fails. I must make me the strongest then. If you say so, here he comes. Yamanaka Yukimori Shikanosuke has arrived! I've come for your head, Morimoto Dari! You common soldiers are free to stand aside! But those who stand in my way shall receive no mercy! With both words based on the kanji for deer, it is said that Yamanaka Shikanosuke's forename originated from the splendid Kazuno helmet he received from his brother. Wear imposing armor to the battlefield and all will be captivated by your grandeur. In time, he would become so brave a general that every man, woman and child in Chugoku would know his name. Yeah, we're gonna see a lot of this guy's valor. A lot of Yamanaka Shikanosuke's valor coming up. Because he's gonna be a very persistent dude. Alright, let's see. I actually would like to maybe make training grounds everywhere before beginning my invasion. But I also don't want to take too long, so I'm just gonna invade. So we begin with Kanayama. Let's see, yeah. We're gonna begin by doing this. So we have our alliances, so we don't have to worry about anyone attacking us from behind. Literally. This is how good of a position we are. The Matsudare, they got our back. The Takeda, even if I were to conquer these places and be vulnerable, they're our allies. We're fine. Completely fine. So let's begin by targeting Kanayama. Always remember, always when I hear word labor, I remember Sana. It was a clip where she rescued one guy from slavery. Wait, what? Want me to say here labor? Oh, wait, you mean as... Okay, never mind. I thought you were for real, that she actually saved someone from actual slavery. But, huh. Here labor. And making him work as a slave in a mine. Gotcha. You're talking about Minecraft, right? For a moment, I took it literally. Like, wait, did she actually save someone from slavery? Holy shit, how did I not know of that? Let's see. I guess I should get Dawn of the Revolution right now. Yokaru. No. Katajikenai. Alright, we still need more for this. Fuck. Alright, no problem. Ooh, Nasakura. Oh, the Takeda. We're not gonna be always with them for long. What? More stuff is happening. Stuff is happening in the Miyoshi clan. Let's see who died now. Yep, I knew it. The clan of the Miyoshi continues. A branch of the Ogasawara clan, the Miyoshi clan, based their name on Miyoshi County in Awa. Even after Miyoshi Nagayoshi went to Kyoto, his influence in Shikoku flowed from that region. From Kirby Stream, okay. It was Miyoshi Jikyu who remained in Shikoku as its protector, while his brothers Nagayoshi and Sogo Kazumasa and others were off conquering lands around the capital. Lord Matsunaga, I have grave news! Lord Miyoshi Jikyu has been killed by the Negoro tribe's muskets at Izumi. What? Could this be true? Lord Jikyu? Lord Nagayoshi may be the face of the Miyoshi clan, but Lord Jikyu was its anchor. Lord Sogo Kazumasa passed away only recently, and now Lord Jikyu. What will become of the Miyoshi clan now? So long as nothing befalls his younger brother, Lord Atagi Furuyasu, we may somehow manage. People may suspect that I am attempting to take control of the Miyoshi, that I had the hand in the Lord's deaths. No one is more devoted to the Miyoshi than I am. People are wont to believe? I want to believe such flights of fancy. If they already believe me capable of such treachery, why not prove them right? Upon the deaths of his brothers Sogo Kazumasa and Miyoshi Jikyu, Miyoshi Nagayoshi grew despondent and fell ill. Although Nagayoshi's eldest son, Yoshioki, was intelligent, he was too young to lead the clan alone. He needed an experienced assistant. It was widely agreed upon that only two people fit that profile, the last remaining brother Atagi Furuyasu and the clan's chief retainer Matsunagi Izahide. Yet no one could imagine what terrible act would eventually occur within the midst of this peculiar rivalry. But yeah. On our side though, us taking a long time to conquer Mino makes sense because Nobunaga took a long time to conquer it. Like, it did take like around 7 years to take Mino, to be fair. So it is very accurate if we take long to conquer it. Because that's how it was historically. He was really persistent. Oh, more stuff is happening in the Mori clan. Oh, the Amago are dead. There we go. Bye bye Amago clan. They're dead. Gasan Toda has fallen. Amago clan annihilated. Gasan Toda Castle, the resilient fortress that had repelled the forces of the Ochi and Mori among others, was in danger of falling. This will not do! Surrendering to the Mori now would mean all of our work was for nothing! But I tire of fighting. I cannot make my people suffer further. Perhaps it is time to give in to the Mori. Although there remained some in the castle and province who would struggle on, Amago Yoshihisa chose to submit to the Mori. So you have chosen. Then the fight has ended. Please spare us our lives. Worry not. Those who surrender will not be killed.
Lord Amago, you and your retainers are to go to Aki.
Amago Yoshihisa and his supporters are moved to the Mori clan's home country of Aki. The group led by Yamanaka Shikanosuke, who still opposed surrender, fled at Izumo Shrine.
Lord Yoshihisa, we will continue to fight to restore the Amago clan to its former glory. Farewell! Shikanosuke!
He's gone. My family and I will be in danger if they cause trouble. And here the Amago clan ended, thanks to the foundation built by the Izumo agent Tsunehisa. This clan had once controlled all the 11 countries of Chugoku. But it prospered for only 3 generations, declining after the war with the other power in Chugoku, the Ouchi clan, and then facing defeat at the hands of the Mori. However, even as a Ronin, Yamanaka Shikanosuke would continue to work to bring his former clan back to glory. Meanwhile, Yoshihisa lived a life under house arrest in Aki after his surrender, his skills never being utilized by the Mori. There we go. Amago clan is annihilated and affiliated officers are added to the Mori clan. Yamanaka Shikanosuke vanishes and Amago Katsuhisa vanishes. And let's see, more Mori clan stuff. Let's see what's going on with Yamanaka Shikanosuke. Grant me an indomitable spirit! A night illuminated by a crescent moon following the destruction of the Amago clan.
To think the Amago would be destroyed despite my utter and complete devotion. Perhaps our strength as retainers were simply lacking. Oh moon, tell me what I should do! What is it I lack?
Shikanosuke implored to the moon to help him accomplish something honorable that would prove himself. After his wish came true, he continued to implore the moon in times of difficulty.
I was desperate then to prove myself, but I will once again give everything I have in my life for the restoration of the Amago clan. Oh moon, grant me indomitable spirits that I might overcome any hardship. Give me the ability to restore my clan to its previous glory.
To fulfill his dearest wish, Yamanaka Shikanosuke prayed to the moon for strength. Thereafter, he would work tirelessly, wandering from province to province for the sake of the Amago clan's restoration. Yeah, we're gonna see him and his tenaciousness in the future. He is quite a tenacious fella. Alright. Keep developing our military. Winning rounds. Keep militarizing. We're gonna attack Kanayama. Ooh, nice. Let's do that. We have another thing here. The Miyoshi clan. Another death in the Miyoshi clan? Is that it? Another death, you say? Yep. There we go. Look, now it's his son. Nagayoshi's son died. The young Miyoshi Yoshioki, heir to Miyoshi Nagayoshi, was renowned for his wisdom and greatness. After Nagayoshi's health began to wane, the future of the Miyoshi clan seemed secure as its heir won battle after battle alongside Matsunage Izahide. However...
What? The young master collapsed?
Why did they die so often? See, we don't know for sure. The popular theory is it was the villain, Matsunage Izahide, that plotted their deaths to try and hold control of the Miyoshi clan. That is the popular theory. And that is why most portrayals in games and stories and like media and overall historical accounts usually go with the popular theory that it was Matsunage Izahide. It's really funny, this game is doing differently. This is like the least villainous Matsunage Izahide I've ever seen. This game is going with a different theory, that maybe it was all a misunderstanding and he was actually innocent. Which is a very interesting thing. It's not the popular theory, it's very much the unpopular theory. Because the popular theory that it was all plotted by Matsunage Izahide, but ultimately we don't know the truth as to why they died. They were very mysterious deaths. We don't know actually why what actually happened. But this brought about a huge decline in the Miyoshi. And there's going to be a lot of other moments where we see things that aren't exactly clear if they happened, but they are just theories, as popular theories or unpopular theories as to why it's being portrayed. This is one of them. In this case, this one is an unpopular theory, because the popular one is that he was the one that did it. But the young master collapsed? Yes, he is suddenly taken ill. Apparently the doctor is seeing him now. Miyoshi Yoshioki did not respond to the treatment of his doctor, Manase Dosan, and passed away. Miyoshi Clan, Miyoshi Nagayoshi's castle. There are no words to express how regrettable all of this has been. Isahide, we've come a long way, haven't we? My father died when I was young, and I fought hard to protect the Miyoshi family. Even after leaving Awa and meeting you, I fought on and cut down countless enemies. I do believe I was just in my actions. Yes, Nagayoshi was never one to favor violence. He is merciful and decent, a fine man to serve. I have destroyed only those who bare their blades at me or sought to betray and ruin me. But Kazumasa, GQ, Yoshioki, they've all left me. What crimes have I committed to warrant his treatment from the gods? If waging war was my sin, then surely my mistake was being born in these warlike times in the first place. My lord. No, I'm okay. Send for good stone from Shikoku, for Yoshioki's grave. At the very least, I want him to rest somewhere familiar. Yoshioki's grave was made of solid Shikoku stone that made a high-pitched metallic sound when struck. Thus did it earn the name Clanging Rock of Miyoshi. Izahide, I grow weary. I shall leave house affairs to you for a time. A moment, if I may, my lord. I would ask you something before you go to rest. Of course. What is it? It is most difficult to speak of at such times as these, but if something were to happen toward Nagayoshi now that the young master has passed, the Miyoshi would have no one to protect them. Being a doctor in all times is hard. If you're patient, like a king or someone big dies, you will die for not being good enough to cure him, or because you poisoned. Yeah, that happened a lot in history. Like, I would be super afraid of being a doctor to, like, someone big back then. It was terrible. Like, damn. Oof. Happened a lot of times. So I will take this clan for my own, remaking and guiding as I see fit. That is how I shall express my loyalty to the Miyoshi. Many daimyo lost their motivation for civil duties upon the death of their heir. Oh, wait, no! Ah! I clicked by accident. Oh well. It's fine. What you have to know is that Matsunagi Izahide is going to start taking more control over the Miyoshi from now on. That's all you need to know. Dawn of the Revolution.
War is spreading across the lands. May all the people on the land put their trust in me, Nobunaga.
There you go. More honor and faster occupation speed of territory. It's nice, it's useful. Not the most useful of all abilities, but useful nonetheless. I do like it. Ah, Inuyama, it's fine. I'm gonna march mostly with my troops in Kyoto. Actually, I want you to go from the north. No. Because if I go from here, all these troops are gonna come from here, and they're gonna catch Nobunaga's forces. I want to keep my units together with each other. I'm not at a point where I can split them up yet. Alright. Here we go. Here they come. Nice. No. Let's see. Narumi's being... Damn, Narumi's taking a long time to be worked on. Faster! Let's see, what should I work on? I should probably finish developing my territory here. Yeah, there we go. This is always good to unlock more, like, large improvements, so... Alright. Why is there a symbol here? Ah, because we're militarized. Let's see, we can add a temple, not more once. It's more economy. Ah, we don't have the labor. Goddamn. Go. Nobunaga clears territory really easy. Ah, wait, Nobunaga's not there yet. Here we go. Tatsuoki is not very good though. He's a terrible leader. So this is gonna be very easy. Your stats suck. Alright. Saito Toshimitsu? Oh. He's a strong one. Let's see. Where should I put everyone? I do want Nobunaga to just crush this guy. So instead, I'll do something like this. Katsuie, he may have lesser troops than Tatsuoki, but he's quite strong. Actually, on second thought, you'll be able to crush him much easier. Then perhaps... Tatsuoki is stronger. Yeah, I want Nobunaga to crush him with his firearms. Level 9 matchlocks is really good. Right. You crush that guy, you get the point. And you march upon Saito Tatsuoki. And Nobunaga's stats are very good, they're very high. There we go! Look at that, beautiful damage with muskets. Actually, I do want to increase the audio a bit more. Alright. This shouldn't be trouble. Again, Tatsuoki sucks. He just really sucks. Nobunaga will then advance here and force him back, which will give us the key point. Yeah, even Hayashi, who's not really much of a fighter, is stronger. There we go. Toshimitsu is out. Easy pickings. Get out of here. I'm gonna speed up. There you go. There you go. Now I'm gonna pressure here, which forces him to turn back, which gives us the key point. There we go. And that buffs all of our stats. I'll let Katsuie take care of this. Come back and rest. Let's pinch it. We're keeping him in. We're keeping the other one in check with Hayashi. Because he's not moving away from here because Hayashi keeps the disengagement point in check. There we go. No, don't spend it right now. Whatever. You can just wait to get it again. Oh, you just destroyed it. Oh, nice. We captured one. No need. Let's rest up. I'm gonna wait, because I don't want to lose that many troops, so I'm gonna wait until both of their abilities are maxed out. We'll advance again. Yeah, okay. Just a little bit more. That's a little bit more. We're almost there. Alright. The time is now. Awakening.
新しき戦を見せてくれよ
That's 40 for both stats.
敵に打ちかかるぞ
And Steadfast Shibata.
我が戦法にて押し通る
Hey, nice. And just like that, with this, look at Nobunaga's stats. Holy shit, that awakening skill is so good. Alright. Alright, a good begin. Oh yeah, that is a very good start. Amazing ratio. Alright. And we have an enemy officer we captured. We can't employ him though. I'd execute him, but the Saito, it's better if we release him, because we can recruit him later on. He's actually not a bad officer. If I was fighting a very difficult clan that I don't know if I can really beat, I would execute him to weaken the clan as much as I can. But right now, we're doing fine. There we go. Demon King. Why are you going through there?
城なぞ早々に奪ってくれるええよ声を上げよ戦ぞ
Over there. Inabai Tetsu. This is a better general. Alright, once again. We'll do this. Their numbers are very low though. No, muskets, go! Kaboom! Also, the reason why the map is the same is that small-scale skirmishes have this map like this. Bigger battles have unique maps depending on the region that you're playing at. Every region has their own line pick map. Destroyed. Come on, you. There we go. Hatsuya took care of that guy. We get the key points. Alright, we almost got the disengagement point. Maybe I should have kept him occupied. That's fine. We can just shred him. Insert. Strategy is very effective. And you're done. Katsuya does not play around. Die, die, die. Nice. Surrender Kanayama, this is mine. Yeah. Not as good of a ratio, but still good enough. To be fair, Inabai Tetsu is a much better warrior than Saito Tatsuoki. Now we just need to take it. We're doing good damage, wow. Ando Morinari is out. Nobunaga Gensetsu him. We should do one, yeah. That would be fun. Oh, there we go. Yeah, this is the Tokai region, yes, yes, yes. Okay, now go into the industrial era and start shooting the castles with artillery. Damn, we have to go all the way to the Meiji Restoration then. That's the time where the Americans arrive in Japan in the 1800s, and they force the country to open up. And Japan is still kind of stuck like 200 years before that, because their technology hasn't improved much. But then in like 10 years they're able to go through an entire industrial revolution. that was the Meiji Restoration. Shogun 2 has a mode called The Fall of the Samurai, which is all about that.
よろしゅうございますか。
Alright, Kanayama Castle is our... I mean, I may as well try and take Iwamura. Look at that, it's so
次
weak.
なる手立てはいかにせん。
So allow me. And Hayashi can go with them. Oh, there we go. Hanbei's castle theft. Mino province, Inabayama Castle. After this famed castle was made Saito Dosan's main base, it later became home to his son Yoshitatsu and then grandson Tatsuoki. Tatsuoki was still young, however, and lacked the combined power of retainers and tribes. Lacking also in confidence, he resorted to alcohol and fell into a vicious cycle. Japan sped into the information era, yep.
納得いたしかねる。
Tatsuoki's pursuits are getting out of hand. He's setting a dreadful example for the Mino tribes. I couldn't agree more, father-in-law. If things go on like this, the country of Mino will fall into ruin, and the surrounding daimyo will move in for the kill. The situation is perilous indeed. Thankfully, Inabayama is a sturdy castle. Raiders will not find it so easily to take. Inabayama is sturdy? I'm afraid I don't quite agree. It sits on the summit of the treacherous Mount Kinka, which gives view to all the surrounding plains. Try as our enemies might, this castle will not be easily toppled. All is owed to the support of our retainers. Without them, it wouldn't take much to seize the castle. Son-in-law, however polished your tactics may be, I doubt you could seize it. Perhaps you're being a touch braggadocious? Not at all. I speak the plain truth. If you doubt my claims, I shall prove myself by capturing it right now. Shall I prove it by capturing myself right now? Yeah, father, that castle you think it's unassailable? Yeah, I can just do it. I can just do it right now. I'll prove it.
ありえぬわ。
Do not speak such nonsense. The very notion of capturing the Lord's castle.
我らがものとします。
Actually, this would make a fine opportunity to admonish Lord Tatsuoki. Yes, a few dozen returners should suffice. I would ask you to join me and enjoy the show. Come. Wait, Hanbei, listen! Morinari could not believe his eyes. True to his word, his son-in-law, Hanbei, issued commands to his subordinates and set about infiltrating Inabayama. With great skill, he swiftly occupied all areas of the castle, imprisoned Lord Saito Tatsuoki, and with only 16 men, seized Inabayama Castle. There we go. There's the reason why Takenaka Hanbei is one of the greatest military strategists in Japan.
なんと
What in the world? He seized the castle with not just over a dozen men. His tactics are as sound as they are frightful. Hearing that the youth Takenaka Hanbei had, with a tiny contingent, taken the impregnable Inabayama, the neighboring daimyo were both shocked and intrigued. Having struggled with the Saito clan since his father's generation, Oda Nobunaga offered to employ Hanbei and give him half of Mino province in exchange for the castle. But as the castle takeover had been staged simply as a lesson to its lord, Hanbei refused and readily returned it to Tatsuoki, before opting to hide away in his own fief. Hanbei's actions were bold. But it seems that having brought such shame to his lord has given him reason to reflect as well. But not even could have predicted that Tatsuoki's anger at his castle being taken would drive him to drink even more. Uh-oh, Tatsuoki became even more of an alcoholic with this. Well, retainers and lords are both only human. It backfired. The curtain closed on the Inabayama affair with Saito Tatsuoki still disgruntled. Hanbei's display of tactical prowess also served to bolster his own reputation. Yeah, it backfired, but I guess it's good for his own clout. Oh, here we go. We start seeing the genius of Kinoshita Hideyoshi. This is the progressive music. Oda retainer Kinoshita Hideyoshi found himself at a loss. My lord has ordered us to construct a fortress in Tsunomata to aid in our invasion of Mino. The chief retainers have all tried and failed his mission, and now the responsibility has been passed to me. We are simply too close to Saito-controlled territory. They would simply send their soldiers to destroy us should we attempt any construction. Gah! There's no way it can be done! But wait! If we defeated the soldiers first, then all we would have to worry about is building the forts! If we held both the geographical advantage and the support of the people, it could be possible! Hideyoshi went through various channels to set up a meeting with the Kawanami tribe who controlled the Nagaragawa River. As a result, he found himself face to face with the leader of the Kawanami tribe, Hachisuka Koroku.
話があるとのことだ。
Lord Hideyoshi was in. Know that we of the Kawanami tribe stand with the Saito. I know not why you have come, but I will deliver your head to the Saito.
Well, I would certainly prefer if you didn't. In fact, I have a proposal I think you'd like to hear. Please hear me out first. I swear you will not be disappointed. Hideyoshi warned the tribal leader that Saito Tatsuoki's incompetence would make his clan an enemy of the Oda, ushering in their destruction. He passionately implored Koroku to recognize how joining the Oda would put him in an extremely advantageous position.
悪くないことよ。
I understand what you're saying. We also thought that continuing to follow the Saito may become dangerous. This is no simple ploy you are discussing. What is it that you want us to do?
明暗がございます。
We wish to build a fortress at Tsunomata. It would be trouble if the Saito were to send their troops during its construction. We would like to avoid being raided. Having the Kawanami tribe's support would give us the geographical advantage.
良き話ができた。
Very well. This gift should be enough to convince the Oda to let us join him.
You have my thanks! This will ensure our success! By bringing the Kawanami tribe into the Oda clan, Hideyoshi was able to complete the construction of the fortress at Tsunomata. This fortress not only assisted in the capture of Mino, but also served as a stepping stone for Hideyoshi's rise to prominence. After the Kawanami tribe became a retainer of the Oda, both Koroku and Hideyoshi stepped into the pages of history. Alright, I need to talk about Hideyoshi a bit right here. It's finally time I talked about him. Oh, wait, there's another event. Oh, alright. Alright, I'll talk about him after this cutscene. Because I think finally it's time I properly introduced you guys who Hideyoshi is. Anyways, at the same time that Oda Nobunaga was starting his invasion of Mino, he began investigating Omi in preparation for his inevitable journey to Kyoto.
The Viper's children are of little importance. We have spent too long in Owari already. We cannot afford to waste any more time. Perhaps we could turn our energies to diplomacy.
Brother, what is it you wish to speak with me about?
聞き入れよ。
Ah, Ichi. You must go to Omi and marry Azai Nagamasa.
はい、わかりました。
I understand. I shall make my preparations immediately.
You agreed readily enough. Have you no objections to marrying a strange man?
心得ております。
There is no reason for me to object. If he is your choice for my partner, I'm sure he's a wonderful man.
As expected of my sister. Why not? Nagamasa is a young and reliable warrior who supports the entirety of Omi. It will also help my journey to control Japan to have a man like Nagamasa as my brother-in-law. You are the key to creating such a connection, Ichi.
I only hope to be of some use to my brother. Goodbye, brother. I pray for your continued health. Azai Clan, Odani Castle. Now, Tsune, you believe we should refuse this proposal?
Indeed, Nobunaga, the Lord of Owari, is a man capable of anything. We must not show weakness if we are to preserve peace. We know not when he could turn his blade against us. Allying ourselves with him will not bring it stability.
Is that why you would prefer honoring our connection, the connection my father established with Yasakura?
Yes, that is correct.
I cannot believe that way will lead us out of this age of war. More importantly, it is my goal to bring even greater prosperity to the Azai clan than my father did, and to one day enter the capital. I will require Lord Oda's assistance to do this. And so now, Tsune, you must help me convince the others.
If it is your command, my lord, I will do so.
The Azai clan had maintained an alliance with the Asakura clan since the time of Nagamasa's father, Sukemasa, and Nagamasa apparently wished to honor it. However, the young clan leader chose instead to bind himself to the up-and-coming Nobunaga, leading in an alliance by marriage. My name is Ichi, the younger sister of Oda Nobunaga. I haven't much to offer, but I will endeavor to serve you for the rest of my days. I am Nagamasa. I look forward to our journey together. And so there was a marriage in Omi, but no one could have imagined the terrible tragedy that awaited the pair. Yeah, I'll talk about this a bit later. During the downfall, Takenaka Hanbei vanishes. Kawanami tribe is adopted by the Oda clan. Azai clan's Nagamasa and Oda clan's Oichi get married, forming a marriage alliance. So there we go, we now have another alliance, this time with the Azai clan, right here. They control Odani and Sawayama. So again, another alliance to make things more easily for the Oda to conquer Japan. Oh, okay, let me talk about... Before I start any cutscenes, let me introduce you guys Hideyoshi. Let me see, where is he? I think it's finally time I talk about him. Where is he? Is he in Narumi? He's not in Narumi. Is he in Inuyama? He's not in Inuyama. He's in Kiyosu. No, that's his cousin. Where are you? Hideyoshi. Oh, Maeda Keiji. We have him? Huh. Mori Shinsuke, the guy that killed Imagawa Yoshimoto. Let's see, where is Hideyoshi? Let's see. There we go, found him. There he is. There we go. Served Oda Nobunaga. After the Honnoji incident, he defeated Akechi Mitsuhide and Shibata Katsuie, beginning what would be the first unification of Japan. He is a very important person. So, let me introduce you Kinoshita Hideyoshi. So, Kinoshita Hideyoshi is a peasant. He was originally a peasant. In fact, his name was Tokichiro. Just Tokichiro. He didn't even have a family name. That's all he was. But he ended up, distinguishing himself and ended up getting a name as Kinoshita Tokichiro. He became a Nobunaga sandal bearer, by the way. He became Nobunaga's personal sandal bearer, and overall, Nobunaga recognized a lot of skill in him, even though he was just a commoner, right? Just a peasant. He fought in the Battle of Okehazama, in that one battle where Imagawa Yoshimoto died. He was just, I think he wasn't... I don't know if he was just a rank-and-file soldier, or if he was already a troop leader by then. I think he was a troop leader by then already. Regardless, he ended up cultivating a lot of favor with Nobunaga. To the point Nobunaga decided to make him a samurai, and that's where the name Hideyoshi comes from. Nobunaga decided to make him a samurai, and decided to change his name from Tokichiro to Hideyoshi, and he would now become a samurai. For his, for Hideyoshi's skills. And this is where Hideyoshi comes in. You see Hideyoshi, Nobunaga, he fought the Saito clan for many years here. Because again, Saito Dosen, he said in his letter before he died that he would give his lands to the Oda. So technically, Nobunaga is the one that should inherit these lands. So he's been fighting a war to take the lands from Yoshitatsu and Tatsuoki. However, he's been having a lot of trouble, especially taking Inabayama. Right here, the fortress of Inabayama is really mighty, and Nobunaga is having a lot of trouble, and he gets repelled time after time after time. So after failing, he recognizes that might is not enough. If pure strength is all it took, he will do it himself. But clearly, this is not a matter of might. We need something else. We need some other more ingenious. And that's why he asks Hideyoshi to take care of it. And so the plan is that Hideyoshi believes that what they need is a closer home base. Because the problem is that Inabayama is too far away from everything else. And as such, the Oda cannot properly mount a proper attack, right? So he decides to... Nobunaga decides he wants a castle built, right? He wants a castle built at the foot of Inabayama, in Tsunomata, right here, somewhere around here. I don't know exactly, but somewhere around here, right? It's literally right on top of Inabayama. Yeah, Nobunaga's like, yeah, build me a castle there. I want it. Now, as you can imagine, the efforts of building the castle weren't really working out, because every time they would try to build a castle there, as you can imagine, they would come under fire by the Saito troops. So this is where Hideyoshi decides to, you know, the scene we saw, cultivate basically goodwill with the populations of Mino province. Mino province is this entire area, by the way, this entire region that we're invading. So he decides to go visiting the local tribes, visiting the local people, trying to talk even with like the lords of the castles and retainers of the Saito to try and make them come to the Oda clan side. And that way, they would all support the Oda clan, meaning that it would be much easier to take control of Inabayama and construct Tsunomata Castle, right? And Hideyoshi proves very successful in that. He managed to bring a lot of people from the Saito into the Oda clan. He was really successful about that. And he was finally able to construct Tsunomata Castle right at the foot of Inabayama. And legend says he constructed the castle so quickly, it was built overnight. Obviously, built overnight is an exaggeration. The castle was not built overnight. But that legend arose because of how fast he was able to build the castle, right? Like, for you to have to cultivate a legend like that, it means you probably built it really quickly. And yeah, the legend that he built it overnight began. And from here, the Oda would finally have a much better base to attack Inabayama. Unfortunately, in this game, you don't have Tsunomata Castle. In Sphere of Influence, the other game that's more popular than this one, there's actually a Tsunomata Castle that you actually have to construct. But since castle construction is not the mechanic in this game, you don't have it here. But yeah, there was a castle right here that belonged to the Oda that Hideyoshi built. And this would further cultivate more favor with Nobunaga. You know, Nobunaga didn't care if Hideyoshi was just a peasant. He saw that Hideyoshi was like a super smart guy, a super like ingenious, creative person, you know? And he decided to just put him at the helm of a lot of his operations, because he saw that Hideyoshi is exactly the type of man he wants in his service. And this is one of the stories of this. You could say that much of the reason why Nobunaga succeeded in his invasion of Mino was because of Hideyoshi. Very much so. And you'll see Takenaka Hanbei, that genius tactician that we saw from the Saito, he would join the Oda later on because he wanted to serve under Hideyoshi, not Nobunaga. But yeah. So that's Kinoshita Hideyoshi for you. He's gonna become... And Hideyoshi is going to become a very important character throughout this entire period. Because after Nobunaga dies and the land falls to chaos again, it will be Hideyoshi that will finish what Nobunaga started. It will be Hideyoshi that will take control of everything that Nobunaga had built up and will finally unify Japan for good. Well, not for good, because it breaks later on. And then Tokugawa Ieyasu is the one that unifies it for good. But Hideyoshi technically finished what Nobunaga began. So yeah, we will see a lot about him. Because again, he's a very important individual. God damn it. Katsuie went to base. Alright, I want you to do this. Go and defend over there. There's a tribe attacking. Anyways, we have another cutscene. Ujiyasu's Fox Hunt. It's in the Hojo clan. Right here. Right here. Also, which is a very interesting tale of how just a regular peasant ends up rising to like the most powerful position in the entirety of Japan. It's a very interesting story. But again, I've seen some misinformation going around saying that he was shogun. Hideyoshi was never shogun. He couldn't. He was not even a samurai to become a shogun. He was not even Minamoto. He was the grand minister of the imperial court. That's the position he took. Because you don't need to be a shogun to rule Japan. There's other positions you can take instead. Anyways. One summer night, Ujiatsu was enjoying a cool night with his family up in a tall castle. I hear something. That foxes, I think. Unusual for them to be like this in the summer. Yes, foxes are known to be quiet in the summer. I only hope it is not a bad omen. No, don't say things like that. Yes, you're right. What about this then? Ujiatsu is said to have recited the following poem. In the summertime, the foxes too cry along, with the cicadas covering themselves in shells as our robes cover ourselves. A fine poem, father. I don't get it. The use of cicadas and their shells invoke a season of summer, but they are juxtaposed with the ominous fox, a symbol of the winter. Right, I still don't get it, but at least they are quiet now. Even so, I only hope they did not cast a curse on father. There really is no end to your worrying, is there? Hojo Ujiyasu was not only a man of the sword, but also of the pen. As he was known for writing waka poems, it is also said that he owned the Azuma Kagami, a historical text of the Kamakura shogunate. Which makes sense because the Hojo were one of the bigger supporters of the Minamoto clan, which was the Kamakura shogunate, so makes sense. As such, Ujiyasu was hailed as a man of many talents. There is a continuation to this tale. After Ujiyasu's death, Ujimasa, who was so worried about the fox's curse, built the Hojo Inari Shrine. It is said that the frog stone, which appropriately resembles a frog, present at the shrine will croak if Odawara is ever in danger. I'd really like to visit one day all these locations, it would be so cool. Anyways, let's add that temple already. Let's see. Is he going away? He's going away. Good. This is almost ours. Iwamura will fall. And there we go. Easy. You can go. I'm generous. I'll let you live. Nice. Everyone return home. We will start developing these ones. Let's see. Name change to Gifu Castle. We need to annihilate the Saito for that. The Eiroku incident will happen soon, which is good. Saito clan annihilate. Oh no, first it needs to happen. Mino 3. Yeah, this technically... Schemes of the Mino 3. This is the next one. So, let's see. 1560... 1570... Fulfill the following. The current date is between 1563 and 1570. Tsunomata Castle is construction. Okay. So all I need now is this one. Aren't we there already? I guess we aren't. It's almost happening. So we don't need to care about this one. Just these two. Oda clan is laying siege to Okaki Castle. I need Abayama Castle. That's what I need to do. Alright, the next year I'll do that. Yeah. Going to sleep? I have to go to work tomorrow. Have fun on stream. Thank you. Thank you for coming and thank you for all your contribution as always. Have a nice night to sleep. Sweet dreams. Well, this stream is actually going on for far longer than I thought, so I'm probably gonna go for like Maybe like half an hour more and I'll stop. And then next time we'll continue our scenario, because I guess the scenarios are gonna get longer from now on, since more stuff is happening, right? And we also have to do more stuff from now on. So we won't be able to do like one scenario per stream anymore, but that's fine. Next Saturday we can do more. Which, that's gonna be the next stream. It's gonna be next Saturday, because I don't think I'm gonna be able to stream this week. Because I still need to adjust to the new schedule that I'm gonna have with university now beginning for me. That is why. And again, if it comes down to it, I will prioritize making videos over streaming, right? Because making videos is like a very core part of this channel. Obviously, I will always stream, always. Like, at least I have Saturdays free. Saturdays will always be that one day that if it comes down to it, I can always use Saturdays to stream. And I want to keep going with the streams every week, if I can. I will try. But but on the days of the week itself, if I might have to sacrifice streaming days for, you know, working on videos and editing. And overall, my editing and everything might slow down a bit more from now on. Which might be a bit frustrating, because I already am so slow, but there's no other way. And I want to keep doing both, you know? Both working on my YouTube and also studying for university. I want to do both. I think I can do both, and I will do both. But yeah. That is it. Anyways, I want to give a castle to you. There we go. Let's see, who can I give Imamura to? Roku Hachisuke is strong. Ah, Takigawa Kazamasu. But right now he's a substitute, and I actually want that. Let's see. Well, Hachisuka Kuroku is not bad. Alright, let's begin by putting people here. There you go. They're kin, so they're stronger together. Let's see, what else I can do here? That is very good. Civil construction or the offensive. I'll go in the offensive. Refined taste. Civil construction. Alright, and now over here. Muscle. Civil construction. More civil construction. And actually, I just realized something. Wait, what's that guy? Oh, never mind. I was confusing him with someone else. Anyways, this is good. We have 2 castles. We need to conquer the rest. Oh, not enough labor. Well, RIP. I need to work on this as well. Maybe I'll go for irrigation maintenance. Yeah. Irrigation maintenance. It's good. Let's see, should we go with battle? I like both Occupy gives us county occupation speed, but we already conquer it immediately, so we don't need that. Battle is good because we deal more damage to enemies, but Covert is also good because it also reduces the amount or the cooldown of your skill, of your tactic. Nobunaga's tactic is actually so short. I believe you could actually probably spam it so much with this. I'd like to try that one day. I'm not quite sure. This is good too, to be fair. It depends on a lot of things. You know what? No, this is not gonna last that long. So for the sake of this playthrough, actually battle makes more sense. Shibata Katsuya, you get the battle too. And you get that. There we go. Alright, now we need to take Gujo Hachiman and Inabayama no Gaki.
承知いたしました。
Let's see, but we'll wait until the next year to conquer more stuff.
ゆえつぞ。
Wetsuzo. There we go.
早々に仕上げねば。
Improving Kyoso. Maybe I should have gone with something different like a market. Our truce with the Takeda are over, but they kinda like us, so we're fine. Urgent repairs.
耳に入れたきことが。
Goodwill diplomacy. Let's see. Yeah, I think this is good, but I think they will do the alliance with us. So we don't have to worry.
嬉しゅうござる。
Because again, the Takeda like us. There you go, we got irrigation maintenance, finally. Let's make a comment over here. We may as well get another policy because our economy is getting better. So I'm gonna add, let's see, what will I add? Marine transport. Having a better harvest is really good.
よかろう。
Because having a better harvest means more troops, means more provisions, it's just good in general. So that, and it's cheap to get the first level, so it's worth the money.
恩情つかまつる。
No need. Let's see, anything else I can get over here? They're still developing by themselves. How are provisions going? Yeah, we need more. But at least this will increase our harvest. Now we'll make a market over there. Imperial Court, nice. They haven't given me a title yet. Speed. Yeah, Sakura are trying to defeat the Wakasa Takeda. And failing. Rokaku clan is staying put. For the most part, all these are staying put too. Let's see. Another market.
早々
Good.
に仕上げねばな。
Let's see. I'd like to conquer the rest of Mino before ending it for today. I'll end this scenario in 67. Oh, what's going on? Schemes of the Mino 3 tribe, there we go. After his father Yoshitatsu's sudden death, the young Saito Tatsuoki became leader of Inabayama and gained much influence in Mino, while also losing himself in pleasures of the flesh to escape the pressures of his position. The kind retainer is pained to see him as such and attempted to urge Tatsuoki to clean up his act, but their pleas fell upon deaf ears.
体と
More
心にも
Tatsuoki.
程がある。
More Tatsuoki is having yet another banquet. He never listens to our admonishments. How frustrating it is. Inaba Yoshimichi, later known by his Buddhist name of Itsetsu, was a retainer known to be particularly stubborn.
劣勢にござ
I
います
worried for the future of Mino. Can we really weather an attack from the Oda clan under his command? Ujie Naomoto had joined the priesthood and taken the name Bokuzen. Once known by the name Kuwabara, he had been a favorite of Yoshitatsu.
帰り見ねばなるまい。
Maybe time for us to seriously consider our future here. Ando Morinari had once gone by the name Iga, a veteran retainer that had served Dosan, Yoshitatsu, and now Tatsuoki. He was close with Ujie and Inaba. The group of men agreed to begin distancing themselves from their war, but at the same time they were targeted by a covert diplomatic mission from the Oda clan. Yep, here we go.
それでは許容できぬ。
Hideyoshi time. You want us to join? It is not so simple as that. Yep, there we go. Like I was saying, Hideyoshi went from retainer to retainer, people to people, tribe to tribe, just trying to win over people to the Nobunaga side. He was really witty, this guy. Really smart. We would, of course, be happy to have you. We will not demand it. If you will, however, turn a blind eye for us.
ほう
You mean for us not to reinforce Inabayama, even should the Oda clan attack?
よろしゅうございますか。
This way you would not have to experience the pain of betraying Lord Tatsuoki directly. How about it, Lord Inaba?
いかに動くべきか。
I'll consider it. Ando, Inaba, and Ujie found themselves being persuaded to the side of the Oda clan. With the foundation of their resolve crumbling, the Saito clan was already in a weak position even before Oda Nobunaga attacked. These three men would go on to be an important part of the Oda clan, eventually become known as the Mino Triumvirate. There we go, now we get Ogaki Castle for free. Yep, schemes of the Mino 3 tribe. Officers change affiliations. Inaba Itetsu becomes affiliated with Oda clan. Ujie Bokuzen becomes affiliated with Oda clan. Ando Morinari becomes affiliated with Oda clan. Oda clan occupies Ogaki Castle. Very good. Because as you can see now, we are surrounding Mino now. We got this castle right here. All that's left is Gujo Hachiman and Inabayama. Gujo Hachiman is our next target. Because Inabayama was the last castle to fall. We're taking the castles kinda a bit early compared to how it actually happened in history, but it's fine. Alright, let's see what's going on in the Matsudaira clan. Right here, they're our allies. Holy Rebellion of Mikawa. Following the Battle of Okehazama, the Mikawa Matsudaira clan formed the Kiyosu alliance with the Oda clan, and finally severed the relations with the Imagawa clan. Their clan leader, Matsudaira Motoyasu, changed his name to Ieyasu and strove to unite the Mikawa province. However, members of the Iko-Shu sect in Mikawa did not look kindly on his ambitions. So begins the war of Ieyasu against the Iko-Iki. Having enjoyed the privileges of being in the independent domain since the time of Ieyasu's father, Matsudaira Hirotada, they rejected Ieyasu's designs and revolted along with their followers, so he's gonna fight Buddhist warrior monks, the Iko-Iki, the Buddhist militant ones. Amidst all this were the Mikawa warriors, who were said to be loyal as hounds. Torn between faith and loyalty, more than half of the retainers opted to side with the sect. Both Mikawa province and Matsudaira clan were soon entangled in chaos. The first heads of houses to side with the Iko-Shu were Honda Masanobu and his brother Masashige. Watanabe Moritsuna, one of Tokugawa's 16 protectors, would later join them. And then Hachiya Saratsugo, known widely as Hachiya Hannojo, would follow suit. Natsume Hirotsugu and Naito Kiyonaga, officers on whom Ieyasu had dependent, joined as well. This is lunacy. Mikawa has been rent in half. We must deal with this at once, lest Mikawa be devoured by other daimyo. Our allies, the Oda clan, will find the Matsudaira clan unworthy and abandon us. I must end this. By whatever means, it is the only way to ensure our future. Ieyasu led the remaining retainers to battle with the Iko-Shu and battered them until they agreed to peace talk. And after sending the retainers home, he dismantled the collective of Iko-Shu followers. He urged temples to convert to other sects, demolishing the ones that refused. Resistant retainers were also shown no mercy, as they were either expelled or placed in their house arrest. The Iko-Shu sect was forbidden in Mikawa for a long time afterward, and the Matsudaira clan avoided annihilation. In perhaps his first crisis as a daimyo, Ieyasu, thinking to unify Mikawa, crushed sects and retainers alike, eliminating all those who opposed him in one fell swoop. His capacity for ruthless governance had been well demonstrated. Yep, there we go. Honda Masanobu is dismissed. What's going on with the Rokaku clan? I think I know. Did you commit any war crimes yet? Not yet, not us particularly. Others have though. A lot of war crimes have been committing so far. We are currently invading Mino province. We conquered Ogaki Castle. Well, more like we convinced the people in it to give it to us. We conquered Kanayama, and we conquered Iwamura. Our next target is Gujo Hachiman. And finally, we'll have the event that triggers the fall of Inabayama Castle. And that will be us taking the entire Mino province. Other than that, the giant battle of Kawanakajima also happened. And I went on like a half an hour explanation of everything in every detail about that battle. From the people involved, from what caused it, from some aftermaths, from the strategies he used and all that, and it was great. I loved it. I got so enthusiastic. Anyways, let's see what's going on with the Rokaku clan now. It's right here, the one with the bird. Kanonji family. Ah, okay. It's the family's not getting along. Rokaku Shote remained so powerful after retiring that the young clan leader Yoshisuke ended up a mere figurehead, not even respected by his retainers. Ridiculed by my father and retainers alike, but I am the one who rules the Rokaku clan. Nothing will change like this. I must be uncompromising. The rebellious retainers must be punished. At a loss, Yoshisuke resorted to the drastic measure of suddenly purging the man acting as a chief retainer, Goto Katatoyo. There is no one left to interfere. I shall hear nothing of the Katatoyo nor my father. The leader of the Rokaku clan is me! Yoshisuke changed his name to Yoshiharu, and although his rule was almost absolute, his purging of the popular Goto Katatoyo roused animosity in his retainers. What possible crime could Lord Goto have committed? The young lord's absurd antics cannot be ignored. His orders shall not be obeyed. Indignant, the retainers ultimately expelled the father and son Yoshiharu and Rokaku Shote from Kanonji, in an incident known as the Kanonji family feud. Lords and retainers are two sides of the same coin, and in this era of endless strife, such buffoonery befits no one. Among others, chief retainers Gamo Sadahide and Mikomo Sadamochi stepped in to mediate by negotiating the retainers' demands with the Rokaku father and son. I cannot forgive them for having ousted their lord from the castle. Their ringleader must be executed. Yoshisuke, no, Yoshiharu, you are partially responsible for this ruckus. Do not further exacerbate the situation. But father! We are to hear the retainers' demands soon. Drink this and return to the castle. What is the meaning of this? Has the clan leader any authority at all? Must I bow down to the retainers every whim? See, the problem is that you don't have actually any power because you're not competent enough and people don't respect you. That's the difference. It cannot be helped. Dragging out this chaos will invite interference from other clans. Allow this much, Yoshiharu. Father! Though disgruntled, the Rokaku father and son achieved peace with the retainers and brought an end to the Kanonji family feud. The Rokaku family were left with no choice but to sign the domain law called the Rokaku Clan Code, severely limiting the clan leader's authority. This incident saw the prestige of the illustrious Rokaku clan of Omi, the very clan that had once clashed with the shogunate, greatly diminished. Yeah, they would never be relevant ever again. There you go. Rokaku Yoshisuke name changes to Rokaku Yoshiharu and Goto Katatoyo dies. And that's it for the Rokaku. We'll probably never see any events from them ever again. Anyways, this one is coming from the west, the Otomo clan. Right here. This clan. Led by Otomo Sorin. The most powerful clan in Kyushu. Sorin and Doset. Ah, that's the guy that was struck by lightning, lost the ability to move his legs and now claims to have been the one to defeat the thunder god Raijin. Otomo Yoshishige had not appeared at council for some time. His congenital health problems initially caused by his retainers to worry, but they would eventually learn that this was the least of their problems. Yoshishige would hold daily banquets in his palace, drowning himself in alcohol and women. That's very Catholic of you. Otomo clan, Funai Castle. Will Yoshishige be absent again then? Sir, he's currently still in his palace. What? It seems I must take matters into my own hands. For the next few days, neither Yoshishige nor Akitsura came to council. While everyone was initially surprised at their absence, that surprise turned to shock upon hearing the reason. Apparently, Akitsura had invited a dancer from the capital to hold banquets on his own. Intrigued by the rumor, Yoshishige expressed interest in being invited to Akitsura's festivities. You're telling me that a straight-laced boar who can't stand moon-viewing events, cherry blossom picnics, or even drinking parties is a fan of dancers? Hey, well, good for him. Life is not meant for fighting alone. I'm happy he finally realized it. to begin, this first dance is entitled 3-Beat Meter.
構わぬ
Huh?
進めよ
Why is Akitsura not here? Ah, who cares? Start the show.
Very well.
That's Mochizuki Chiyome, by the way.
Yoshishige was instantly overcome with joy upon viewing the dancer's performance. I humbly apologize for my lack of ability.
That couldn't be further from the truth. I would have expected no less of a dancer from the capital. Just marvelous. But is that all? Have you no more dances? Oh, who cares? Someone pour the drinks.
お任せを
If I may be allowed the honor. Akitsura!
申し上げたき
I'm
こと
finally graced with your presence. It is a matter I've been hoping to discuss with you.
Akitsura then lectured him at length, criticizing his indulgent behavior. As a result, Yoshishige vowed to practice restraint. The dance of the performers invited by Akitsura is still known to this day as the Tsurusaki dance. The next day, Otomo climbed Funai Palace.
思うところあり
Akitsura,
To prove that I've changed my ways, I intend to enter the priesthood. So my name from this day forward will be Sori. What do you think? Do you like it? My lord does in fact listen to counsel, but his cooperation often ends soon after. I can only hope that this decision does not invite some future catastrophe. No, I must endure that it doesn't. Akitsura then decided to join Yoshishige in entering the priesthood, and thus his name became Dosetsu. The name meant to remain in place until the snow upon the road disappears, and it is said to aptly represent Dosetsu's chivalrous spirit. More name changes. Otomo Yoshishige name changes to Otomo Sorin. Becky Akitsura changes to Tachibana Dosetsu. A lot of name changes this episode. Anyways, let's finally put someone in Ogaki Castle. Honestly, I kind of want to give it to Hideyoshi. He was the one that convinced the people to get in here. Let's see, maybe I should just put Takigawa Kazumasu here. Nah, Maeda Toshiie.
恩に着ようぞ
He's deserving of a castle. He's pretty strong.
感謝いたす
Mori Hideori. Hideori.
ありがたき幸せ
Actually, I can probably put some more of the substitutes. Ikeda Tsuneoki.
お任せあれ
Scene. Dragoon. Yamauchi Kazutoyo.
感謝いたす
Ino Sadamune.
ありがたき幸せ
And now I can get more substitutes. Like Inabai Tetsu.
お願いの喜びにござる
Let's see, who else can I put here? Oh. I have some... No, I don't. Never mind. Let's see, I can use some of these. On the offensive.
ありがたき幸せ
Let's see, on the offensive.
ありがたき幸せ
And civil construction.
ありがたき幸せ
Alright. We're looking good. Ogaki Castle. Give me attack buildings. We focus on full offense. You're the same. You're the same. And over here, however, if that's being developed, we can develop our markets. More money. Let's see, is there any policy I can put over here? We don't need defense infrastructure, we're kinda on the offensive. Ah, maybe I should go for discretionary power assignment.
よかろう
Yokaro. Another event in the Miyoshi? Is this the Eroquent? No, it's not. No, is it? Is it not? Ah. Miyoshi Nagayoshi will die. So the great leader dies too. Miyoshi Nagayoshi started out as a retainer to the Hosokawa, but went on to surpass his lord and establish in the capital a clan that outdid even the shogun. He was known to some westerners as the Viceroy of Japan. The younger brothers who supported Nagayoshi, the ferocious demon Sogo Kazumasa, and the master of tea, Miyoshi Jikyo, had already died. Atage Furuyasu, the remaining brother and commander of the Settochi navy, stood opposed to Nagayoshi's finest retainer, Matsunage Zahide. No one could have predicted that Furuyasu would be summoned by Nagayoshi and compelled to commit suicide by his own brother. Was I in the right, Izahide? My brothers are all gone. The only one left to support me is you. Your resolution was praiseworthy, my lord. There is no longer anyone to challenge your heir. Your family can rest easy. My heir, Yoshitsugu. Does he have what it takes to maintain the Miyoshi clan? Please, do not worry yourself. I will endeavor to support him in any way I can. Following the death of his own son, Yoshioki, Nagayoshi adopted Sogo Kazumasa's son, Yoshitsugu, and declared him successor. Nagayoshi and Izahide put Furuyasu to death before he could threaten the young Yoshitsugu's authority. I am not long for this world. Should Yoshitsugu prove incapable of safeguarding Awa and the capital, you must lead the Miyoshi clan. Is the meaning of these Tamoria's remarks? Your lowly servant Izahide is nothing without you, my lord. Young Lord Yoshitsugu will make a fine heir, so be well until then. No, I know my body is giving out. Now tell me, Izahide, was this nation truly mine? Without in my mind, Lord Nagayoshi, you were king of this country. Was I? Thank you. I have been quite the burden, haven't I, Izahide? Having roused the shogun to assert his authority across the region surrounding the capital, before even Nobunaga, perhaps Nagayoshi was actually the first man to rule the country. However, with his younger brothers and son dead, he was deeply alone at the end. Lord Nagayoshi, you were the only one worthy of my loyalty, and now that you've passed on, what is left for me? Should Yoshitsugu prove incapable, you must lead the Miyoshi clan. Well, his world may yet have need of me on its center stage. Atage Furuyasu dies, Miyoshi Yoshitsugu succeeds Miyoshi Nagayoshi as daimyo, Miyoshi Nagayoshi dies. There we go. The decline of the Miyoshi is complete. Well, I mean, they're going to decline even more, to be fair. Anyways, before I end the stream, I really want to finish the conquest of Mino, though. Aha. Let's see. Let me just see what else I need to do here. Saito annihilated, Yoshiaki bites this. Never mind. I cannot kill the Saito clan yet. I need to wait until this happens. I need to wait until the Eiroku incident happens, which is almost happening actually. After the Eiroku incident happens, this will happen. Yoshiaki bides in time. Only after this can I finally kill the Saito. So let's stay put for a while, because if I take Kujo Hachiman, I'm gonna eliminate the Saito. So let's practice restraint here. There we go. It's happening, the Eiroku incident. Ashikaga Yoshiteru, the 13th shogun, continued to work to restore the shogunate to its former glory. As such, he was wary of the Miyoshi clan, whose influence was rapidly declining in the capital after the death of its leader, Nagayoshi. Ever since Nagayoshi's death, the shogun acts as if we don't even exist. It would have been nothing without us. We have used the authority of the shogun to build our power in the capital. If that authority no longer serves our purposes, then perhaps it is time to set it aside. But the shogun is a troublemaker. The retirement of confinement is not enough. He must be done away with. The rumor that the Miyoshi trio and Matsunagi Zamichi intended to take the life of Shogun Ashikaga Yoshiteru became an open secret among Miyoshi clan members. With a pack of fools, after reigning over the capital, the Miyoshi clan gets thrown into complete chaos because of the death of one man. The shogun need only be a decoration hung in the palace. There is no reason for them to do a thing to him. staining their names by murdering their lord will earn them nothing. It is an embarrassment that my son Isamichi would be swayed by the trio's nonsense. As if mocking Izahide's concerns, the situation quickly escalated. A few days later, the Miyoshi trio and Matsunaga Izamichi gathered their forces in the capital to appeal to the shogun and advance towards the palace where Yoshiteru lived. The dispute, however, quickly turned into a skirmish and eventually erupted into a battle that none had anticipated. Damn this Miyoshi rebel! Would you think such a grand house so weak? Come and meet your deaths! Prepare yourself, Shogun! Some believe that Miyoshi soldiers had difficulty attacking Yoshiteru due to his having studied swordsmanship under Tsukahara Bokuden, but it was only a matter of time. So yeah, this is another like story of the period where we don't know exactly if it really happened or not, but it is likely that he actually fought. As in, you know, he fought to the end. So Ashikaga Yoshiteru was also known as the swordsman shogun, right? And according to legend, he awaited the Miyoshi troops in his room with several swords carved into the tatami mats, right? Carved onto the floor. And he would basically keep using his swords, fighting off the Miyoshi troops, always bringing up a new sword whenever another broke. Until finally he was killed by a bunch of spears. But that is another like tale of the period from here. Seeing the overwhelming enemy numbers, no one sent reinforcements to the Muramachi Lord's palace. Yoshiteru grew exhausted fighting the constant stream of foot soldiers. To die before seeing the shogunate restored to greatness were a terrible shame. But my sword rejoices to have had so many opponents cut down. Come then. Come face your punishment for treason. See what true swordsmanship can accomplish. The capital, Hosokawa Fujitaka's residence. At the palace? At the palace? Damn those Miyoshi and the Matsunaga fools. While unfortunate, we will be unable to assist the shogun. Miyoshi forces have surrounded the palace. Sending reinforcements would accomplish nothing then. As retainers, we must look to the future. The Ashikaga shogunate must survive. We make for Kofukuji Temple in Nara. The shogun's brother, Ichijo Kakuke, is there. We must not allow the bloodline to end. All of Yamato, including Nara, is under Matsunaga Zahide's influence. Kakuke will be slain if we leave him there. We must prevent this. This event became known as the Eiroku Incident. Their 13th shogun, Ashikaga Yoshiteru, was killed, and the government ceased to function. The fools have done it now. The disloyal of slaying their lord will forever stain their name. To think that even Isamichi would be seduced by those three weasels into supporting an assassination. Now the Miyoshi clan would know where to turn. But the world is an unpredictable place. Because of Isamichi's involvement in the assassination, a rumor spread through the country that Matsunaga Zahide was the mastermind behind it all. There you go. People claimed it was all his claim to bury clan leader Nagayoshi's younger brothers, but Izahide was the type to use such infamy to his advantage. Still, having been labeled the mastermind behind the shogun's death, he earned the hatred of many daimyo. Meanwhile, the Miyoshi trio took control of the capital, but their relationship with Hisamichi soon began to falter. Having lost their common enemy, the Miyoshi trio found themselves in open opposition with the Matsunaga clan. Led by Hosokawa Fujitaka, the former retainers of the shogunate rescued Yoshiteru's brother Kakuke, who returned to a secular life and took the name Ashikaga Yoshiaki. Retained from a secular life, I mean. Ashikaga clan is annihilated and affiliated office island to the Miyoshi clan. Ashikaga Yoshiteru dies, Ashikaga Yoshiaki vanishes, Ashikaga Fujitaka vanishes. There we go, no more shogunate. The shogunate is gone. They died. Well, actually, there is actually a puppet shogun installed, but he's just a puppet. Even more of a puppet than previous ones. There we go, more stuff that concerns us. Yoshiaki bides us time. While shogun, Ashikaga Yoshiteru lost his life in the Eiroku incident. His brother, Kakuke, who lived at Kokufuji Temple, was saved by Hosokawa Fujitaka. Kakuke returned to a secular life at Omiyashina and took the name Yoshiaki. He then sent a letter asking daimyo across the land for their cooperation in helping him travel to Kyoto and take his position as shogun. Oda Nobunaga? Can I truly trust this man? As the powerful daimyo defeated Imagawa Yoshimoto, he would certainly make a potent ally. He is currently contending with the Saito clan in Mino. Then I shall mediate this dispute between Oda and Saito, and nothing would stand in our way. Of all the daimyo that Yoshiaki had sent requests for assistance to, he was most interested in Oda Nobunaga of Owari, and attempted to mediate truce for him. I mean, you know... Nobunaga has legitimacy to having Mino though. How terrible. When we first sent the request, Oda Nobunaga's response had given us such hope. You mean to say he has refused? It seems he is unable to assist us as he is currently battling the Saito clan of Mino. We even tried to mediate peace talks, all to no avail. You refuse mediation by the future shogun and still won't assist us? The gall! There must be another daimyo that will support me. In that case, shall we go to Echizen to speak with Asakura Yoshikage? And you are? Please excuse me. I am Akechi Jubei Mitsuhide of Mino. The Echizen Asakura clan has become a problem. Akechi of Mino? Are you not a retainer of the Asakura? Lord Akechi left Mino and currently stays at Asakura Yoshikage's guest near Ichijodane Castle. While young, he is well-learned and well-connected. I am confident that he will serve you well, Lord Yoshiaki. Is that so? Mitsuhide, do you mean to say that this Asakura Yoshikage will assist me? I'm afraid that Lord Yoshikage cannot provide a soldier escort to Kyoto, but he would like to extend an invitation to stay in Echizen, assuming you found it preferable to wandering. His people? Why would I go all the way to Echizen if they will not provide troops? Yashima is dangerously close to the capital. It might be best to wait somewhere safe as we gather assistance from the daimyo. Gah, fine! Echizen is safe, right then? You will act as our mediator, Mitsuhide, or whatever your name is. Yes, my lord. Yes, lord. I will do all I can. Despite being the younger brother of the previous shogun, the daimyo were indifferent to the powerless Yoshiaki. After this, Yoshiaki changed one of the characters used to write his name, took temporary residence under the protection of Asakura Yoshikage in Echizen, and waited for his opportunity. There we go, we can now finally destroy the Saito. Finally! We were just waiting for that event. Yeah, there we go. Alright. We begin our invasion to Gujo Hachiman. Let's see, what else I can build? I want these off. Because I like having irrigation canals everywhere. Ha ha! Hayashi and Katsuie. There we go, there we go, there we go. Nobunaga just blitz through territory like it's nothing. Yes. Yazai are our allies after all. Can add a port here. Nice! He set out on his own. That is good. That's the hot-blooded ability for you. You don't even need to tell them. No, Takeda are allies. Actually, they're not. Nope. We now take Hinabayama. That's our final target. Maki Hirotada. Go. But honestly, making an alliance with the Takeda would probably be for the best. Yeah, let's do that. Wait, I want to wait for someone with better modifiers, though. Nice.
控えてみるもよいか。貴殿にお仕えいたす。敵の城を奪ってくれる。
No, you're doing good. Stay there.
たまらぬわ。
Let me just decide who's gonna get Gujo Hachiman. Ikeda Tsuneoki. Not a bad one. Actually, no. Yamauchi
ありが
Kazukoyo.
たき幸せ。
He's a better leader. Begin with the irrigation canal. Alright, let's see. Anything else that I'm missing? Cytoplan annihilated. Ah, there we go.
よかろう。結ぼう
That's fine. The alliance is good.
では。
And that's it for the Saito. The oil merchant left the capital for Mino and became a powerful retainer of the governing Toki clan. His son, Dosan, eventually ousted that clan to become daimyo. After the usurpation, the Saito clan of Mino were on the verge of destruction after only 4 generations at the hands of Oda Nobunaga. Rejoice, Kicho! Mino, the land that was promised to me by your father, has long at last become mine. You have my congratulations. What is it? Even though it was led by the brother who killed your father? Do you mourn the loss of your clan? No, I no longer hold any connection to the Saito clan. This is the fate that was deserved. I only pray that Mino regains its former glory. Worry not, for I plan to make this land my principal base when I finish pacifying the remains of the Saito clan. Mino is much closer to the capital. No, to all of Japan than Owari. In contrast to the overjoyed Oda clan forces, the defeated Saito Tatsuoki reluctantly put Mino behind him. Damn you, Nobunaga! I will have my revenge! It is said that Saito Tatsuoki escaped to Ise Nagashima by way of the Nagaragawa River before making for Echizen, where he had old connections. There we go. Mino is ours! Name change to Gifu Castle. There we go. Inabayama will no longer be Inabayama. And this is something we will talk about. So, Inabayama is going to change its name to Gifu, which is also the name of the prefecture today. The entire Gifu prefecture today is named after Gifu Castle, which is the name that Nobunaga gave to the castle after taking over Inabayama. Teacher, you've come. But of course, your capture of Mino is the first step in taking all of Japan. I would not miss the celebration. This is just not like you. I am considering living here. What do you think? Ha 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 ha. My lord has only ever done exactly as he pleased. My opinion on the matter is meaningless. Even if the land you desired were to be near the capital, nothing could stop you. It pleases you then? In that case, I required a good name for this land. At the time, the castle town of Inabayama that Nobunaga had captured went by the name of Inokuchi. Ah, is that what you wanted to know? Long ago, Inabayama was known as Gizan. A name associated with a mountain in China, eh? Which would mean Inokuchi lies at the base of this Gizan. Then what of the name Gifu, the foothills of Gizan? Oh ho, a fine name. King Wen of Zhou united China at Gizan, and Confucius was born and developed his philosophy at Chufu, combining the auspicious Qi and Fu. It will be a fine land. That settles it then. This town will now be called Gifu, and the castle of Inabayama that looks down upon it shall be Gifu Castle. Both the castle and the town will be rebuilt to suit me. My unification of Japan begins here. In that case, my lord, what of using this as your seal? What's this? Tenkafubu? They're translating it as Dawn of Evolution, but the seal is actually Tenkafubu, which technically means all under heaven under military might or something like that. But I guess they went with Dawn of Revolution here for some reason. Regardless, it's Tenkafubu. I'll always call it Tenkafubu. Always. That's his slogan. Indeed, it is said that King Wu of Zhou, who used 7 virtues to bring China under his control. Some say the kanji for warrior comes from the Chinese character for the spear that ends all war. And wait, hold, teacher. I am no longer the fool of Owari. I will have time to listen to your tales when I retire. But I have become fond of this seal. It matches perfectly with my own thoughts. Thank you, teacher. But of course, I'm happy to hear it. I'm relieved to see that my lord has not changed. While there are many theories on how this naming occurred, the town of Inokuchi became known as Gifu, and Inabayama Castle was rebuilt as Gifu Castle. At the same time, Nobunaga changed his seal to the now famous Dawn of Revolution, revealing his ambition to the world. Oh, another cutscene. A messenger from Yoshiaki. After the 13th Muromachi shogun, Ashikage Yoshiteru, was assassinated, his monastic brother Ashikage Yoshiaki returned to a secular life and worked to restore the shogunate to power. Yoshiaki urged daimyo from around Japan to accompany him to the capital. Among them was Oda Nobunaga, who was now at peace with the Saito clan, thanks to the shogunate's mediation. But when the peace collapsed between the Oda clan and Saito clan, Nobunaga could no longer travel to Kyoto. During this time, Yoshiaki wandered around Omi, Wakasa, and Echizen before finally gaining the protection of the Asakura clan. He was still, however, no closer to his goal of entering the capital. But now that Oda Nobunaga had defeated the Saito Mino clan and moved to Gifu, Yoshiaki sent Hosokawa Fujitaka as a messenger to once again request his aid in traveling to Kyoto. First, please accept my congratulations on your victory. My victory? Ah, you must mean Mino. We would like you to make for Kyoto by the way of Mino, Lord Nobunaga. That was, of course, our hope in acting as mediator with the Saito. My apologies. I surely would have met your expectations had the Saito not broken the peace. Do not worry yourself. More importantly, will we now come to the capital and lend your power to Lord Yoshiaki? This was my intention. Please inform Lord Yoshiaki that I am at his service. I am so pleased to hear you say so. Now my honor remains intact. Ah yes, please use this man as an emissary in any future communication. He is well spoken and a fine warrior besides. A pleasure to meet you. I am Akechi Jubei, in service of Lord Yoshiaki. I'm happy to be of assistance. Everyone, never forget this guy. Akechi Mitsuhide, never forget him. He's gonna be important. And I shall leave the rest to Lord Jubei. Heh. Hosokawa, eh? Or was it Fujitaka? He seems capable enough, though he hasn't quite shaken that famed sarcasm of those that grow in the capital. For him to bring up someone like Ishiki Tatsuoki and then ask for my cooperation the very next breath. Ah well. Jubei, is it? We need no more formalities between us. Thank you, my lord. I hear you studied Bokuden Tsukada sword fighting. Fujitaka has spoken highly of your abilities. You live up to the man's appraisal? I assure you, I am nothing special. I can swing a sword without cutting my own arm off, but... But what? While I was wandering across the land, I had the opportunity to train with firearms. Ah, muskets, eh? Men in my clan can use them. I would like to see what you can do. Shall we step outside where you can show me? Perhaps we could speak of the trip to Kyoto? Yes, but I can head for the capital at a moment's notice. But Jubei, how much can I expect from the shogun? The Ashikaga forces were once renowned throughout Japan, but as they are now, they would be lucky to step foot anywhere near the capital. Even so, the capital region is essential. The people, trade, temples, and powerful families all gathered in one place. It is Japan itself. And uniting the country requires controlling the capital, using the old ways to forge the new. Is that what you were saying? Most perceptive, my lord. I like you, Jubei. Those from the capital never say what they mean, but not you. But enough about the capital. Let's go outside and see who is the better shot with a musket. The fool of Owari is just as the rumors described. But this man is no common fool. The first half of Akechi Mitsuhide's life is shrouded in mystery. As he was born in Mino, some say he served the Saito clan, others claim he was a relative of Nohime, or even a retainer of the Asakura clan. There are many theories, but none have been proven. His name begins and appears in records around the time that Nobunaga set his sights in the capital, and he would eventually rise to become one of the Oda clan's most prominent figures. This was how the historic duo of Nobunaga and Mitsuhide first met. There we go. This is going to be a very important character. Oh, another. Holy shit. Tenka Fubu. After wandering through a number of provinces before finding refuge in Echizen, the former Shogun's younger brother, Ashikaga Yoshiaki, traveled to Mino in hopes of obtaining the help of Oda Nobunaga. You must be Oda Nobunaga. I will be relying on your help during my journey to the capital. Yes, my lord. Please rest here at Ryusho's while we prepare for the journey. Do not worry. I, Nobunaga, have no intention of making you wait as long as Asakura Yoshikage did. Let us show this land our strength. Show our strength? The reason that you have been forced to move from place to place, and that the provinces have drowned in chaos since the Onin War and the Meio calamity lies in your lack of strength. We must show our overwhelming might to all of Japan and cut down any opposition if we are to bring peace to the provinces. Seems I have found myself a reliable ally. Let us do as you say. Together we shall restore the shogunate. In this age, the word referring to all of Japan could also be used to indicate only the capital and its surrounding area. Did Nobunaga's dawn or revolution refer to conquering the entirety of Japan, or only controlling the capital or rebuilding the shogunate? It means all under heaven, Tenka Fubu. It is still unclear whether Nobunaga and Yoshiaki had similar ideas in mind at this point in time. Regardless, these two men of different upbringings had found a common had found a common ground in revolution, marking the beginning of an unusual alliance. Yeah, but that's gonna be next stream. So there you go, Saito clan is annihilated. Ishiki Tatsuoki is now Honganji. Inabayama Castle's name changes to Gifu Castle. Oda clan member base is now Gifu. Akechi Mitsuhide becomes affiliated with Oda clan. Akechi Hidemitsu is now also affiliated with the Oda clan. The missing Ashikaga Yoshiaki returns to the Oda clan, and the missing Hosokawa Fujitaka returns to the Oda clan. There we go. That is it. I think that is it. We have unified Mino. Military roadwork. Huh. Now, to be fair, I think I'm gonna end it here though. We have succeeded in conquering Mino. But we can't do anything else because the actual Dawn of Revolution scenario begins in 67, right? That's where we're gonna start going into the capital. We're gonna have to fight, conquer the Rokaku, conquer Ise, Oba. We have to expel the Miyoshi from the capital, all the way here. We will keep the Tsutsui alive though, and we also will keep the Nagashima alive. By the way, this is where Saito Tatsuoki ran away to, Nagashima. Because historically, we don't actually invade that. It's annoying, but it means we're gonna have to move through Azai land. Which is fine. Alright, who's gonna take this? Akigawa Kazumasa. Inabam. Wait, not that. There we go. What about Gifu? Gifu is where I am right now. Akechi Mitsuhide is a chief. Saito Toshimitsu. Hosokawa Fujitaka. Akechi Hidemitsu. Actually, Maeda Keiji is here too. Let's see, who else should I put here? No, it's fine. I guess I can just put people. Saito Toshimitsu.
着ようぞ
Ooh. Fuwa
感謝い
Mitsuharu.
たすぞ
I wanted most of
お任
those.
せください
Let's see. There we go. Wait, can I get someone else? Someone else. With that most devotion. Asuka Yoshiaki is not loyal,
味気ない
but there we go.
ありがたき幸せ恩に着ようぞ
Let's see, anything else? I'll probably continue the rest up in the next stream.
聞いてください
Issue policy. Ah, finally I can get this.
承知いたした
Small unit deployment. I like that one a lot for the provisions. We can now focus on the attack here. It's already taken care of. So now we'll focus on this. How much do I have to work on, Gifu? Not much, actually. Not much. And there we go. I think this will be it for today. We have this one that's gonna happen next. But that's gonna be next stream. All of this stuff is stuff that will happen in the next scenario. But I'm not gonna do that because that only happens in 67, after 67. We still need 4 years until then. There's gonna be a lot of time where we're gonna do nothing. But that's because I conquered Mino kinda faster than Nobunaga historically did. That's why. Oh, the Takeda are big. Ojo are big too, though. The Satomi are still alive. On a surprise, Imagawa is still standing. The Uesugi are giants too. The Miyoshi are still big, even though they lost so many people, and the Mori are giant. Otomo are super powerful too. Oh, but I see the Chosokabe have been doing conquering. The Chosokabe conquered these two territories. Good, good. Anyways, I'm gonna end the stream here. Is a good spot to end it. There we go, look at that. We got Mino. Mino province is ours. Whew, that was nice. I like that. So yeah, thank you all for coming. Sweet dreams, and I'll see you next time. Tenka Fubu!